Oh, hello everyone. Smaller group today. Hopefully we'll have some more filtering because I'm telling you right now, and I'm jumping the gun a little bit, this is probably one of the most practically helpful sessions you are going to sit in on any of the CEs we do. Now, just a little bit, today is not for CE credit, so I know we disclosed that before, but I just want to say it one more time. But like I said, this is an absolutely invaluable session. Andrew's got all 3 hours, worth every penny that you guys are not having to pay, which is fabulous. So before we get started with Andrew, I just want to welcome you guys. Of course, I'm Molly Kaiser. I am the managing attorney of the Virginia Beach and Newport News offices of Shaheen Law. If you haven't attended one of our CE sessions or you guys aren't familiar with us yet, I just want to take a quick second to tell you a little bit about us. Every closing that you guys do, every transaction needs a place to close, but not every place you take your transaction for a closing is going to invest back in you and is going to help you build your business. And that's something that Shaheen really takes pride in. And that's why we put sessions and events on like this today. So we're so thankful that you guys are here. I just want to introduce a few of our team members. I already introduced myself. I almost did it again. We've got Jeremy Williams at the back. He is our Chief Information Officer and tech extraordinaire, and he does all kinds of random stuff that just helps keep us running. So I know a lot of you have worked with Jeremy. He's wonderful. Jolene, definitely his better half. Sorry, Jeremy, is behind him. Jolene is one of our title underwriters with our title company. At the back of the room, we have Kristen Pettiford. She is our boots on the ground 24/7 in Newport News. I know you guys I know you guys know her well, and she's just amazing. And we've got, oh my God, I did it again. Why do I always do this to you? But you are my favorite. Katie Burnett, she does business development, not only for Shaheen internally, but for you guys. She's a great resource for you guys if you need any help, with what we're talking about today. She's really well versed in so much of this, and if it's stuff she doesn't know how to do, she's got the connections to help you guys learn how to do it. So please use her as a resource, not only for this, but just generally to help you build your business. We're so thankful that you guys are here, and I don't want to take any more of Andrew's time because, like I said, everything he's got to share with you today is huge, and it is a lot of information. My encouragement is, try not to get overwhelmed. Focus on, 1, 2, 3 key pieces that is really tangible for you that you can use, to really help you, prioritize your time, manage your tasks better, and to build your business. So without further ado, Andrew Cooper.
Thank you. Can you give a big round of applause for the Shaheen team? It's incredible. Let me get mic'd up here, be ready to go. Thank you for turning off the lights. I look better in the dark. For sure. All right, I think we're ready. Jeremy, we're good on the camera. All sorts of stage fright up here. Who hates being on camera? Look at me. Hey, Mom. Hey, happy Tuesday. We all lived. We lived through yesterday. Look at that. That was scary. Anyone scared? Anyone see a tornado? I did see some branches down in the parking lot here. I think Chesapeake had it a little less worse than here. Anyone get hit with anything yesterday? It was all the hype. It's like all these snowstorms we were supposed to have this year, and then we didn't. Down here, we got nothing. I like a good weather system.
We live in God's country.
God's country. I like that. I like that. We do have to deal with the occasional hurricane. But good to see y'all. Thanks for making it out, investing time this beautiful afternoon. I see some familiar faces in the room, so thank you for coming back for round 2. I think today is much more of, we're going to slow it down. I think a lot of times I'm coming in for an hour, maybe 90 minutes. We fit a lot of stuff into that 90 minutes. And how many of you feel like, yeah, there's a lot of cool stuff, but like, where do I start with it? You all with me on that? So if you've sat through this a few times, thank you for being back. I think repetition is the key to learning, but we are going to do our best to slow it down and do this in 3 chunks today. So here's how it's going to work. We're going to spend the first hour on some of the basics with the large language models you all might already be using. We're going to then take a break, little bathroom break, get a splash of coffee, some Coke, some water, whatever you need. Then we're going to jump into agentic AI, what's here this year that you all should be using, and AI searchability, some actual actions you should take in your business to help yourself stand out in AI search. That's going to be hour number 2. Then we're going to take a break, and then we're going to come back. Hour number 3 is going to be, and we're going to do a giveaway at that break. So that'll be fun. What are we giving away today, y'all? Jeremy, Jolene, what are we giving away?
There is a lovely gift basket over there that Katie's grabbing.
Good. Look at that. Very cool. Thank you. Thank you, Vanna. Appreciate it. And then hour 3 is going to be all about content. So some of the tools that are out there that can help you create content using AI, not to replace yourself, but to amplify yourself. So that sound good? So there's going to be a lot of tools today, probably 12 to 15 different tools that I mentioned. And what we mentioned at the beginning, try to pick 1 or 2 things from each segment that you haven't done yet that you can start doing. Had a really interesting conversation the other day with somebody, and it's like, Andrew, I just feel like overwhelmed with AI because it's moving so fast. How do you stay on top of it? How do you really make sure you're trying things? And in the top 10% of people that are executing on AI, or the top 15% of people, right? How many of you feel like you're just behind with AI? There's other people doing it better. Here's the difference. It is not rocket science. You all want to know the difference? It's a mentality, and it's a mentality shift we have to have. And here's the shift we have to have with AI. If you really want to be in that top percentile that's using it and trying it. The shift is, before I sit down to do something the way I've always done it, I need to take that to AI and simply ask or try to do it with AI first. That is how me, Andrew Hooper, learns everything that I teach. I just don't default. I don't try something once and then, man, it didn't work, so I'm never going to try that again. And if it didn't work today, in 2 months when I'm doing that task again, I'm going to go to AI again and try it and see if it works. And that's how it's like, aha, it's gotten better. I can now do it. That just saved me an hour of time. So the lens shift is not, this is too much for me to learn. It has to be, I'm about to sit behind my computer and work. I'm about to do something that's going to take me a lot of time and I don't really love doing this. Let me go to AI, or let me reach out to Jeremy, or let me reach out to somebody I know. Hey, I'm about to do this. What tool should I be trying this with? And then do it first. Does that make sense? That truly is what separates people that are doing this stuff from those who are kind of stuck in the, I don't know where to start. Get the tools, create the accounts, and try AI first. All right, so y'all know me. I'm gonna go through the first part a little fast, and we're gonna get into some practical stuff. And again, these are things that I believe are very important that you all should be taking advantage of. So we're gonna start with the basics. So the first hour might be slightly redundant, but I am gonna have you do some activities, and we're gonna talk about those and why it matters. So this is the quote I always like to start with. 20% of your activities does what? It drives 80% of your results, which means inversely what? 80% of your activities drive 20% of your results, right? So that's where I find a lot of the necessary work. It's like the stuff that's important but not always urgent. We get caught up in the day-to-day of it, and it's hard for us to really define, like, where should I spend most of my time? And where do I feel like I'm good at stuff like writing listings or reviewing contracts or like understanding language? But that sucks up a lot of my time. It's very important to the job. It's very important you know that stuff, but you still need to invest all the time doing it in today's world. So the 3 pillars that we're going to talk about not replacing really have to do with you. Like how you show up, how you talk to people, the event we're in today, the way you get on social media, who posts on social media in here, the way you post on social media. Those are things I believe that AI should not be replacing, because that's you. That's how you show up to market. That's your brand. That's how you create conversations. That's a high value activity. So really the human elements per Brian, and I believe this as well, those are the things that we should not be replacing. And so we've asked this question, but this is our litmus test. If you're taking notes, write this down or ask yourself this question. Is AI currently giving you hours back in your day-to-day? Right? Like, if you're sitting here and you're like, I really don't know, then that's where we got to adopt that AI first mindset. I'm going to give you a real life example. You want a real life example for me this weekend? Got a new bunk bed for my kids. All right? They're really excited, right? My son wants to be on the top bunk. I had them help me build it. So they're little, right? My kids are 6 and 4. But I had my son using the drill to like screw the screws in, and he was loving it. And my daughter was handing me all the screws we needed as we were putting it together. So we made a big family project out of it. But I needed to be doing something else at the same time. I had to do a whole like store order from Home Depot for some supplies, and an order from Target, and a few other things. So how is AI giving me hours back? Helping me scale. Well, I need to do that work. Did you all know that you can take your shopping list for Home Depot and Target, give it right to your computer browser, and it'll go ahead and order everything for you and get your cart ready to check out? So while I'm in there building memories with my family, my kids, building a bunk bed, having a good old time, my laptop's open on my bar in my kitchen, working, ordering everything that I need. Who in here has your AI doing stuff like that for you today? That is how you get hours back. That's just a grocery order. It's easy. It's almost like the, hey, Alexa, can you go do this for me? Hey, Alexa, what's the weather? We just have to start thinking, like, where am I going to spend that time? How many of you would do something like that if you knew how? We're going to show you how today. But now we're going to take that today and we're going to talk about parts of the transaction where that type of AI should be doing work for you. Not to replace you, but to give you that time back. So you can focus on those moments with your family, with the people that matter, and do more of them. So that's a real life example. So if it's not giving you hours back, pay attention today, take a lot of notes. You're in the right place. All right, which tool is right for you? Everyone raise your hand if you have ChatGPT. I said everyone, but whoever does, whoever has ChatGPT. All right, couple things. We're gonna talk through a couple tools today. Here's your first 4. We're gonna go through these, talk about different uses for them. Here's what you need to do. Do each of you have the tool you're using on your computer also downloaded to your phone as an app? Okay, that is step 1 for you. If you just answer no, if you're using ChatGPT on the computer, you need to go into your Play Store on an Android phone or your App Store on the iPhone, and you need to download the app you're using on your computer. The next step is key. How many of you are using an unsigned in version of ChatGPT or the AI? Like you don't have an account. All right, so I'm gonna tell you today, this again, basics to start. Don't use any large language model without having an account created, and always be signed in. It's how it's gonna remember things, it's gonna become more like you. We're gonna talk about some privacy and security reasons why that really matters. So make sure, 1, you have the app and the website, and you're logged into the same account on both places. We all understand how the cloud works, right? But like 10 years ago, people were like, it's in the cloud. We're like, what does that mean? Are we smoking weed? Are we getting high? Like, what's going on? So, Kay, do you want to add something? Yeah.
So I use my phone myself for personal reasons, obviously, and then my work computer is my work computer. So if it's logged into the same account, which voice is it going to use?
Which what?
Which voice is it going to use?
Yeah, that's a great question. So the cool thing is, like, if Shaheen provided you like a Shaheen Law Firm team ChatGPT, you're going to be logging in with your Shaheen Law Firm email. For all of you, that might be your broker. They give you access to an AI and you log into that system, but it's not yours, right? It's not the one that you're using every day. So if you're using 2 different emails to log in, that means you have 2 different accounts, and those are going to act completely different from one another. They're not talking. So to solve your problem, if you want it to be you but use it at Shaheen, and I think Shaheen allows for this, you can log into your own ChatGPT instance right from a browser at Shaheen. It's going to act the same way your phone acts. Does that make sense to everybody? So just at a very simple level, any of these tools, browser, app, and third layer for those of you who are like, yes, Andrew, I know this, and I have the browser and I have the app and I'm logged in. How many of you are like that right now? Be honest. It's okay. Like this pretty basic stuff, Andrew, I know. Do you have the desktop app for that tool? All right, so that's your third layer. So if you currently are on the browser and you're in your app, also make sure you have the computer desktop app for each one. The reason you want that is each of these tools, browser has certain capabilities that the phone does not. The phone has certain capabilities like snapping a picture in the moment and getting it right into a chat that the browser does not. The desktop app has capabilities that can work on your computer for you that the browser and the phone cannot do. Does that make sense? So you really want to have every access point for that AI tool you're using on your device. All right. Clear as mud or clear as day? Hopefully clear as day. Again, we're going to take this slow. So ChatGPT, I still believe it's the #1 in America today. First to market, that's why they're #1. They still have over 60% market share. Most versatile. I still use ChatGPT for most everyday tasks. I use it most for writing because I feel like it knows me best. How many of you feel like that with ChatGPT? You've used it, you feel like it knows you best. So that's great. How many use Gemini on the day-to-day? So where I like to use Gemini is anything I'm doing for my life that is research related, because Gemini is Google's AI. Just a different version if you want to think about it like ChatGPT, just a different company. The tool does a lot of the same things. But it's built into Google's ecosystem, so research, and specifically, how many of you in here are consistently using the deep research functions in your AI? You know what I'm talking about? Let me just show you so I'm not losing anyone here. In your, we're not gonna look at that one yet. In your ChatGPT, Gemini, the same thing, right in your plus sign drop down, you all see where it says deep research? Who in here can tell me if you enable that, what it does? In any of the AIs, not just ChatGPT, every one of them have this.
Sorts it out. I assume it just searches the web for multiple resources, right?
Yeah, really here's the key. If you don't enable deep research and you go to research something like a property that you're working on, and you use the regular chat, the chat, by the chat I mean this bubble right here, you don't enable deep research, you're like, tell me about 123 Banana Street. And it replies, it's probably gonna lie to you and tell you stuff that's not true. You all have experienced this, right? Because it's doing a quick answer. When you enable deep research, it's actually going and searching actual websites, to your point, and it's gonna find any website it can find on that topic or on that address, and take about 20 or 30 minutes and compile an entire executive report for you on that topic. But it's gonna be more accurate. Now, do you think I sit there and read the 38 pages executive report? What do I do with that? Give it back to AI and say, here's what I need from this. Now that I have it, help me understand. So this is where AI, I say it begets more AI. Like AI is gonna help me, it's also gonna help me with that, then it's gonna help me with that and help me with that, if that makes sense. I hope it does. But deep research, I'm not gonna go too deep on it today, but I like using Gemini. So this is Gemini, right? New chat, right in the tool. Where are we at here? Tools and deep research. Y'all see that? Same thing, different AI. Now, can anyone tell me why we might want to use Gemini over ChatGPT for this? Say it loud for everyone in the back.
Because it's sourced to Google.
Yeah, it's Google's product, and Google still accounts for 97% of all search in the country. So I find better results coming from Google. ChatGPT browses with Bing. No one in here browses with Bing, probably, unless your browser's stuck on it for some reason. So that's why. All right, let's jump back. Who in here is on Claude? C-L-A-U-D-E, Claude, the yellow one. This is a tool that I think all of you should get today if you're not on it. Claude is a large language model, and it is probably top 2 consistently now in the country for its capabilities. Claude is great with big data sets. So how many of you have ever uploaded, like, we talk about this in trainings all the time with AI, but you upload like a big 50, 100-page document to AI to have it read through it and help you find stuff. What are some of the documents you're uploading? Shout it out. Home inspections. Anyone in here? What do you ask? You upload it, just share with the room in case no one's done this yet.
Only done it once,
Okay,
so I'm learning.
cool.
But, I just ask it to give me a summary of all necessary items, not cosmetic, and for a repair list.
Awesome.
So, and then it'll say, oh, well, it always gives you more information. Oh, you also want me to do this, and this, and this, and this, and you just go down that rabbit hole.
Oh yeah, and AI will take you down the rabbit hole too. Sometimes you gotta just say, I don't need anything else, shut up. So it's like, calm down. All right, so if you're not sure what she's talking about, in any of your AI tools, I'm in Gemini, it doesn't matter, you use your plus sign, you say upload files, and you can bring an entire PDF or multiple PDFs right into this chat and ask the AI about that topic, whatever it might be. Another one I see used all the time, HOA docs, right? Like upload all the docs that you need and that you're trying to get answers from. So these are just some good ideas, very easy to do. We're all familiar with how to upload files. Just hit that plus sign, upload the file, ask it the question that you need to know. But why I like Claude for that over ChatGPT or Gemini, Claude has a big token window, which just means in 6th grade plain speak, it can look at a lot more than the other AIs in one setting. Think about AI windows like this. Remind me of Frankie? Yep. I remember you, man. Thanks for coming out. Okay. So Frankie, can you see more out that window than I can? Because you're closer to it, right? You're closer to the window, it's a bigger window for you. You can see more. Over here, if you look out that window, what do you see? One vehicle, maybe two? He can see 3 or 4, right? So that's kind of how AI token windows work. The bigger the window, the more it can see, so you can give it more, it has more to work with. It understands more of the context. Hopefully that was a good illustration. I tried to make it work. So Claude, great for long documents, also ethics, and then finally on the agentic side, and I'm going to explain agentic to everybody, so don't worry, but just write that down, big word, agentic, like agent IC. Agent IC. It doesn't mean real estate agent. It means AI agent. But agentic AI is what we need to be focused on this year because it is fundamentally changing how we interact with AI and computers. Claude's agentic capabilities are pretty cool. We're going to show those today. Copilot, anyone on Microsoft Outlook? Like that's your operating system. So if you're on Microsoft Outlook, Copilot's really built into that Microsoft suite, and your company probably has it right in every application you're in. So if you're in Word, you have Copilot. If you're in Excel, you have Copilot. If you're in your Outlook email, it's right there, Copilot. So really, that's more of a time save AI to use. And just so you know, Copilot runs on ChatGPT's model. So it's essentially the same AI, just in a different package. Does that make sense? So you're not losing too much over ChatGPT with Copilot. So which one is right for you? I would say all of them, based on your ecosystem and based on what you're working on. But I will typically go try every task I'm working on at least once in each one of these to see how it performs with that task. That is how you become more of an AI expert and more of an AI user. Don't just go back to ChatGPT for everything because it doesn't work well with everything. All right? Any questions so far on this or anything else? Yes, ma'am. Nice setup, by the way. Got the screens.
Very productive.
I like it.
Efficient, yes. So I have a paid ChatGPT account.
Yes, ma'am.
And the other ones, I'm assuming I don't need to get a paid account for the other ones. Just try them out.
Yes and no. Yes and no. So ChatGPT paid, I think that's critical. I think any AI you're using for anything substantial in your business, you should pay at least the $20 subscription is what they're all around, right? 20 to 25 bucks. So if you're starting out and you're like, I don't want to pay for all 3, some of the stuff we talk about today is only available if you pay. So you kind of have to determine if that's something you want to do. Your outputs with, just to answer that question for everybody, if you're in ChatGPT free right now, the outputs you get are very simple and not very good compared to what you get with paid version. We all know the energy crisis we're dealing with. Did Dominion power bills stay high this month? Has anyone gotten theirs yet for this month? Are they still like triple? Can we just talk about that for a minute? Do you all know why that is? I know a lot of people are knee-jerking blaming AI. Say it out loud. It really is the data centers, right? Virginia holds 64% of the nation's, I think it's 64% of the nation's data centers, which means every search with AI, with Google, with Bing, whatever, flows, like 64% of that flows through the power grid of Virginia through these data centers. Now the data centers, as far as I know, are paying their bills. However, it's putting a strain on the grid. And it's kind of like Uber when you're out at 2 a.m. and everyone's leaving the bar at the same time. Anyone with me, or is this a group of church-going folks? Okay, when you're leaving Sunday service at 11 a.m. and you didn't drive because you were hungry. No, I'm just kidding. But it's not $8 to get home anymore. What is it? Yeah, it's like $37. It's a mile down the street. So it's the same kind of philosophy concept. When the grid is maxed out and stressed, you're getting surge pricing, premium pricing on the power. So I bring that up because if you're not paying, that's why they're not going to give you the best result, because it takes a ton of energy to run what you're asking it to run, and some functions won't even be available if you don't pay. So I would say pick the 2 or 3 that you're going to use for various tasks. Kind of what we go through today will give you some ideas, and then pay for those 2 or 3. And if you're on ChatGPT free, pay for it, because the quality and some of the stuff we're going to talk about today, I think that still can be your core AI stack to start with. I still like ChatGPT as my kind of numero uno, numero dos AI that I go to. Okay. Yes.
Which features require the paid version?
I will. Yes, ma'am. And we.
The chat was part of Copilot, so is Is that an additional paid?
Yeah, it's a great question. So his question is, if Copilot uses ChatGPT, and I pay for ChatGPT, so Copilot, most of you, I would not recommend going and getting Copilot on your own. I would only use Copilot if it's your organization is on Outlook and that's what they're using. So if that's the case, you're already getting an enterprise level of Copilot that your company has built, so you don't need to pay for anything. Just use Copilot because you have the full capabilities of whatever it can do, you're going to get because they have the top tier for your company. Does that make sense? So you don't have to pay for two. Now, if you want to take and use AI outside of Copilot and you want ChatGPT, you're going to have to pay for your own ChatGPT. But you're going to get ChatGPT capabilities in Copilot through your company. I hope that makes sense. The other caveat I'd give here is Gemini. Who runs on a Google workspace, like for your brokerage? So you should have all the Gemini tools for free, again, at that enterprise level.
So I pay for Google Workspace.
Yep.
So does it come, because I was in
You'll have it all in there. You'll have at least the Plus, and then you'll have Notebook and all the other stuff we're going to talk about today too. Does that answer from like payments and things? But keep in mind, these are all like, this is like a Verizon subscription, a Cox subscription, your car payment. Like these are just separate companies you're paying, right? So there's not a lot of, if you're going to use it heavily, you're going to use these separate companies heavily, you want to really pay for the ones you're using most. The reason I recommend multiple AIs is really this quote. And this is what has me really focused on agentic AI this year. Because this came out of Davos in January, the overhang of what the models with Claude, Gemini, Copilot, ChatGPT, what they're all capable of versus what the everyday user is actually getting out of them, the gap of that skill is huge and growing. And so like this quote fuels me to show you what's capable because this is where we see huge ROI. And the fear with these AI companies is like, man, if we are charging people 20, 30, 40, or a token system where they got to pay per use case, right? And people don't really know how to get a lot out of it, they're not going to pay us for these amazing tools and the capabilities. So really just take note internally of where your gaps are today. And your gap might literally be, I need to get all the apps downloaded and create an account and get logged in. And if that's the case, go take that action. For some of you, it might be, I need to really lean into this agentic stuff he's about to get into because I've already mastered ChatGPT and Gemini and I'm already using that. So whatever stair you're on, just take the step to the next stair. That's how we're going to kind of close that gap. So we're going to dig in now. We're going to dig in and do a couple activities. Again, this is around settings and basics. And we're going to do a group activity together. So everyone open your ChatGPT. And if you've done this with me recently, you do it again or you don't have to. I see some people that I saw like a week or two ago. You're back for round 2. But if you haven't done this in a while, go ahead and do it again because it might have changed. You're going to type in a prompt and you can really ask it whatever you want about yourself, but this is the prompt I want you to at least put in there. So ChatGPT, you can hit your mic and talk if you want to. If anyone in here has been using Claude or Gemini or another AI heavily, why don't you try this prompt there and see what it says? But for sure, ChatGPT. I'm going to let y'all read that for a second. Just piggybacking over there. Save the thumbs. All right. Who sent that up? Take your time, you're good. How many of you have actually gone down this rabbit hole with ChatGPT about yourself?
I was afraid to.
Don't be afraid to. Don't be afraid to. Now, don't get in this, it'll always take you down a rabbit hole, but you want to tell it what rabbit hole to go down. All right, so did anyone get a little write-up about yourself? Who tried it and I see a couple of heads shaking. Did you not, what did it do? Anything?
Sign it.
It said sign it? Right, okay, so you just told on yourself. That's good. So So for any of you who are like, hey, you were using the unsigned in version, go ahead and create that account then. I would just do that now while we're sitting here. Like sign in with Google, create the account, do whatever you need to do. Make sure it's linked to an email you're always gonna have access to. And that'll be the account you log into. Yes, sir. Yeah, it's actually the same name as the password. So VPAR, all caps, guest. That's the password if your reception is slow. For the other couple that were shaking their heads, was there, like, did it say just didn't know anything about you, or was it also an unsigned in account? Okay, all right. Someone said it knows too much. Okay, so it does know stuff about you. I'm going to pause here. I'm going to give you all kind of a strategy that you might want to go do. Some of you may have done this with me in the past, and we don't have time to do the whole thing today. But I believe every realtor should do is get really clear on your brand and kind of what you have out there, and have it kind of audit you, right? Has anyone ever had AI do a brand audit for you? So how do you do that? Have it go out and research your websites, give it screenshots of the stuff you email people, the social media. Like, in addition to that, you can just continue on in this chat and do that, but ask it to help you really refine your brand voice, your brand. Like, based on everything I have out here, what would you say what should I focus on? What should I not, right? Like, what things should I be good at? Y'all understand why that's important from a branding perspective? Because if you chase too many rabbits, you won't catch any. And I do think in real estate, sometimes we're following the bouncing ball of like, what content do we need to make next, or what thing do we need to do? And we're not really clear on who we are and who our ideal client is. And that's where we should always start. And I believe identifying your brand and your brand voice helps you know, more importantly, what to say no to when it comes to your marketing and sales. So if you haven't done that exercise with AI, go ahead and do it. This is something I started teaching with ChatGPT when it first came out, because it was good at taking and analyzing those pictures and things. But have it do a brand audit on you and learn what you should probably not focus on. An easy example I'll give you is, do you think Victoria's Secret and Harley Davidson should have the same marketing campaigns? There's always someone in the room. Men on bikes and underwear? Heck yeah. Right? So that's what she said. But because of brand voice, like, narrow that down, because based on who you are and your ideal client type, you probably shouldn't be doing everything you see. All right, your next prompt, stay in that same chat and just ask it this real quick, because this is fun. No lies, what is it actually like talking to me? No lies, what is it actually like talking to me? So do that one real quick. If you want to get real radical, you can say, do not validate me. You can say, do not validate me, be honest. Don't lie to me, don't make me feel good. Roast me. All right, y'all send that up. Did anyone get an interesting answer? Well, what was your, he's laughing.
Well, I'm laughing because it says you don't ramble, but I think I ramble.
You don't ramble. Oh, wow. That means it can handle more. What about in the back?
I'll just go to my upside.
Okay.
Conversations stay focused and productive. They're easy to help when the task is clear. And you push for higher quality answers without saying all that.
All right.
And I do it. It says I expect a certain, as you go through it, but I expect a certain level of, when I tell you this is what I expect, without over-explaining, but maybe I expect too much out of people that I understand the things. Yep,
there you go. Cool. So you get frustrated if someone's not getting what you're saying, or you have a high expectation and you know exactly what you're trying to say. It's great. That's some good analysis, if you ask me. Might point a blind spot. Yeah.
How does it know about you like this?
You just, man, can you come, next slide, I'm going to get right into it. We're going to talk about it. I got you. Great question. She said, how does it know this much about us? Does anyone know the answer to that? You want to share what it said? Yeah, it can be funny for sure. What did it say?
So it says, it feels like working with a very high-level operator, ... who simultaneously accelerates progress and slows it down.
Wow.
Ouch.
Yee! It's a bungee cord effect. It's okay. You all can, I'm glad you told on yourself, because mine literally said, Andrew, talking to you is like talking to a file cabinet. My colleague Alex will get a kick out of this. So like, Andrew, talking to you is like talking to a file cabinet with every drawer and every file opened all the time. Is that true, Alex? A little scatterbrained. So I really need AI to help me. Now I have you do this to tee the question up that the young lady in the back just asked. How is it remembering this stuff about you? And this is a key learning for all AI as we move forward. All AI, not just ChatGPT, now has, we're going to talk about the settings here, but now has persistent memory. So write that down. Like ChatGPT has persistent memory for me. Persistent memory for me. Gemini has it now. Claude has it. Copilot has it. It all has persistent memory. This can either hurt you or help you. But it is, for real. But I'm going to tell you how it can really help you today. If you didn't know about this before today, you've just been using it, and randomly, ChatGPT is deciding what it wants to remember about you whenever you send up a message. Randomly. There's no rhyme or reason to it. If it thinks it's important, it might remember it. And if you're on a free account, it might have not remembered much about you at all.
But how does it know that I talk fast?
It said you talk fast? Yep. Do you actually hit the mic and talk to it?
Nope.
You just type?
Yep.
It might be listening to you on your app. Just saying. Y'all ever hear where it's like, I need a pair of new red socks? And then like on Facebook, you start seeing ads for new red socks? This is why we recommend using companies that are US based and that we feel are like secure, and actually all these companies have our data. Like, are we all at a foregone conclusion here? We know that there's really no true privacy in the world today. You all know that, right? Like Google, Meta, OpenAI, like these companies we're interacting with, Amazon, right? Netflix, they know a lot about us. Too much. But we're in the society where we've kind of sacrificed that for the ease of tech.
It's very interesting because, I mean, this kind of fits my personality, and I don't use it often.
As often.
Only as, correct. Only
Yeah. Yeah. And if you have it tied into other tools, right, it's able to see some of the data in the other tools. We know Meta listens and does all the things. So yeah, there's a healthy amount that it's learning from your interactions with it and whatever permissions it might have in its app that it's drawing from. Does that make sense? May not say that in its persistent memory of you, but I want to show you where to go to see what it might be remembering about you, right? Just because it said something doesn't necessarily mean it's going to have that in its memories. Do y'all remember where to go for this? Who's accessed your memories? I know some of you were in my class last week and you did recently, but who hasn't accessed them or who doesn't know where to go? Or let's go there real quick. So open your ChatGPT. We're going to do this in ChatGPT, but you can find these in most of the AIs. Click on your name down at the bottom left where you access your account stuff. If you're on your phone, you need to open your chats and then look at the bottom where you have your name just like mine. And you're looking for the button that says personalization. So click on that. And then I want you to scroll down to where it says memory right here. Y'all see this? So settings, personalization, memory. And then memory. Scroll. Manage memories, yep. Again, make sure you're in ChatGPT. Open your account button. Personalization, and then memories. Now click where it says manage.
I don't have that.
Not in yours?
Nope.
Jeremy, do you mind just professoring the room a little bit to help anyone who doesn't? Or Katie, if you know where to go. Okay, so some people are looking at their memories. Who's reviewing those right now? Okay, so just take a minute, scroll through.
I don't have any, but it's probably because I don't have a subscription.
That's why. Yep.
But it knows a lot about me because my therapist is AI.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, and just so you know, there is a in-chat memory, which is just within each chat. It's going to remember certain things for a certain amount of time. But this is actually its persistent memory. What we're in right now is the brain of this is what it should be remembering on every chat you're in, no matter what, if you start a new one or not. So I can't click mine in public because it might tell something that I haven't reviewed it since last week. So just keep that private. Yeah, if it says no, it's a couple reasons. A, you've been on a free account, you may not use it a ton, and or it just it hasn't snagged anything to put in there and remember. Okay, so this is where up to now it's been very ambiguous. I love when the jets go over. I especially like with out on First Colonial. Anyone ever get out there in Virginia Beach? All right, question?
Can you add to the memory?
That's exactly where I'm going with this. So this is she said, can you add to the memory? This is what you need to do. You need to tell your AI what you want it remembering for whatever you're working on. Yes, ma'am. Which one? Reference saved and reference chat, I would leave them on. This is how the ChatGPT brain will be able to see your stuff and respond better for you in any situation that you're in. So your question was spot on. Let me ask you all this. What do you hate? Was there another question? Okay. What do you hate ChatGPT always does when it writes for you?
Ooh, taking you down a rabbit hole. Always offer more suggestions.
And you don't like that?
I do not.
Okay, so prompt your ChatGPT right now and say, I want you to remember that anytime you give me an answer, I do not want you to prompt me for a next action. Just do that right now. Good. And it'll sit there and say updated saved memory, and then it should every time no longer do that. Does that make sense? Yeah. If you hate the M dashes, the long dashes that it puts in there, prompt it. Hey, I want you to remember, there's no place to say add memory, you just have to talk to it. But I want you to remember X about me. Does that make sense?
Can the microphone, is it supposed to also work on the desktop or on the laptop?
Yeah, it should, like this one right here. Yeah, it should work, like mine's working. So make sure your browser's updated. Make sure you refresh, sign out, sign back in. But this microphone should work just fine. All right, ChatGPT, forget everything I just set up to this point. But here's what I want you to remember. Every time I write an email, this is one I would do if I were all of you as well, I want you to remember to always give me 4 versions of said email based on the disk profile so I can slow down and think who I'm talking to and what version they might need. All right, so I'm just doing this random one to give you an example, get your brain thinking about more than just what the output is. What do you need help with? What are things that you're going to AI for that you need help with? So for me, it's AI now reminding me every time, see how it said updated saved memory? Wants every email request to automatically include 4 versions based on disk profile so they can choose the best fit for the recipient. So now that's going to do that every time I ask. Think through the things you're going to AI for and what you need included in the outputs. How many times are you writing a text or email and you need to drop a link to somebody for like the EMD link or your buyer page or your listings page? I would take those links, paste them right into that chat box and say, ChatGPT remembered these links for whenever I need them. And then all I have to do is say, include my Calendly link, include my buyer intake form, include my EMD link in this message. Those links will be saved in your memories and be able to be inserted. So just get creative on what you're asking it to remember for you, right? I would not have it remembering passwords or usernames for things. Probably no need for that, but just an admonishment. But does this make sense? So this is probably one of the most powerful settings in AI that I think goes unnoticed. This is how you start saving 5 minutes every time you use it.
Does Gemini also allow for that? Because when I try to get it to remember stuff, it gets really confused.
Yep, starting in I think November last year, they rolled out memory. Still not as strong as ChatGPT. This is one of the reasons I go back. What we learned with ChatGPT is when they first rolled memory out, it was like a 6-year-old. And it would be like 80% of the time it would do what you had said, but it would also decide not to sometimes. So you had to constantly remind it. But I will say ChatGPT's memories have gotten good as of today to a point where I don't really have to remind it about too much too often anymore. Does that make sense? Yeah. Yes, ma'am.
Hope this doesn't sound stupid.
Not at all.
You said, to save them from the ChatGPT, are you saving them there and you're able to send them out to people, or just like put people up?
It's a great question. So when you ask ChatGPT to remember a specific link or something, when I'm drafting the email in ChatGPT, I'm hitting that mic and I'm saying, hey, I need an email to Stacy. Stacy wants to schedule time with me next week. I need you to include my Calendly link in that email to her. It's just, it's there. Now I copy paste it and I go put it into my email. Does that make sense?
Would you say that this is like a personal assistant?
Yeah. So anything that you're going to it for a deliverable, if you need to add text or links or anything, phone, like the way you sign off an email, I always sign off best Andrew Hooper. Remember that. Every email sign off best Andrew Hooper. Like just think about the things you're constantly changing in your listing descriptions, in your, like whatever you're having it do for you, and tell it, hey, when I'm writing a listing description, it's important not to use flowery language, to use more of the words I use when I'm telling you stuff. Like just tell it. So the times that you're spending 10 minutes going back and forth, this is the true power in AI for ROI. It's the time savings. So start using these memories to your advantage. Anytime you have to ask it for something, think, how would I prompt this for a memory to never have it do this again? Yeah.
Quick question. In reference to like the, to give a property description, or example, when you're writing a children's book or something.
Sure.
Is it anything considered copyright when AI can give you that information back?
Yeah, that's a great question. She's bringing up the issue of copyright. So if you're writing something that's going to be out there, like, I think copyright's more, listing description, not so much. Children's book that you're going to monetize for sure. Copyright's an issue there. Blog posts, right? Like plagiarism, copyright plagiarism. These have been ongoing concerns for AI. What we found, we haven't seen a lot of lawsuits coming up where it's like people getting sued for AI outputs for written stuff, because AI typically goes and generates a new answer every time, and it's based on predictives. So just what's most likely to come next in words. So it'll generate like a different response every time for the same prompt. Does that make sense? So we haven't seen it bubble up a ton with people like having copyright issues, and the overall consensus with, I have a few friends who are copyright attorneys. They're saying like, hey, we think that AI is fundamentally changing copyright law in the next decade, because like AI proved in a span of a week that there was no new musical beat ever. It created every musical beat that it could. And so it's like, if it can do that, was that ever actually IP, or has it always been just existent in the universe? Yeah.
The reason I'm asking that is because I had a listing recently, and so my seller was like, oh, did you see the other townhouse, how she wrote it? And I was like, yeah, I'm sure it was ChatGPT, because it was too precise, seamlessly written, and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
I was wondering, is that something that's okay to utilize and not be like, well, you have to put somewhere in the description that it was AI, or, I mean.
You don't have to.
It's gonna be different every time. So
Yeah.
it's not gonna be copyright, but.
Yeah.
Just the fact that that's, you put the list, it's not really for me, it's not really your work.
Yeah.
AI's doing it for you, making it look good.
This is more of a social question. This is what I would call like a feeling question. And I love the question. So less about copyright, more of like, this was written in this beautiful flowery way. Mine is going to be more like how I am, how I wrote it. I'll ask the room. How do you all feel when you can tell something was plainly written with AI that someone's putting out there? How do you feel?
It depends.
Depends on what it is. Let me rephrase it. If it's someone like reaching out to you or trying to connect with you or posting on social media, how do you feel? Okay, some of us, we don't get bothered by it. Some of us are like, it annoys me, or I ignore it because I can tell it's.
Can you tell? Because I'm a prolific writer anyway. What it produces looks like me. How can you tell?
Yeah, I'll get into that in a moment. Yes, ma'am. Jeremy, what's up?
If it looks like it's a basic out of ChatGPT stuff, it irritates.
Yeah.
If it looks more curated, then it doesn't irritate.
Correct. So there's a super big into, it's the listing question, it's the written social media post question. There is a certain amount of personal interpretation that you will have here based on, what I'm saying here is there's no right answer. It's based on your vibe as the consumer. Like what will you tolerate? What do you think is okay? I will tell you, after years of being in like consumer marketing at JP Morgan and coming over here, and the consumers I talk to and how I behave as a consumer, if someone reaches out to me and I can tell they used AI, or they email me trying to do something with me and I can tell they used AI, it's a big turnoff for me. And I think the studies show that that's a vast turnoff for the majority of people, because as humans, we crave feeling and connection. And so if we can tell that something was written just, Read the book called The Feeling Economy. I'd encourage you all to read that, no matter where you're at on this. The Feeling Economy is a great book. My friend Justin Tucker recommended it to me about a year ago. I read it. Actually, I listened to it. So listen to it or read it. And it's bubbling up again and again in our conversations. So it talks about consumer behavior. It talks about the need to be felt and seen and heard. And to this listing question, to the post question, to your emails that you're writing, I think if you're just copy pasting what AI gives you, it's getting noticed because there are patterns. Someone asked me, how do you know? Because there are patterns to it. AI writes like, it's not this, it's that, right? There's words that we as humans don't typically use that AI uses more often. And I think anyone who's an AI user, and you have to understand, your consumers are heavy AI users. Anyone see Ryan Serhant's video that he posted yesterday? He had the seller go to ChatGPT, and ChatGPT told the seller that the price was too low. And then the buyer went to ChatGPT, and ChatGPT told that the price was too high. And so the contract was falling apart because they're both trusting what AI told them. Does that make sense? So there's a lot of personal interpretation here. My advice, as someone who studies it, and I work with a ton of teams up and down the East Coast, I would say, if it's an output that's going to be consumer facing, try to have it be as much of you as it can be. Get back to using your thumbs. Get back to actually typing out the email. That's important for sales. I'm not saying like a follow-up email couldn't be typed with AI. That's perfectly fine. But when it matters most for that connection you're trying to make, try not to use AI. Try to use your own IP, intellectual property from here. Now, I will say, with these memories we're talking about, I have ChatGPT locked in pretty good. Where I don't know if people can tell I'm using AI to write my emails. Because I have like 18 memories for my email writing that I've said, never do this, always do this. This is how I talk. These are the words I use. This is how I sign off. I don't do dashes, I do ... There's about 18 memories in my ChatGPT for my email. So I think you can get AI narrowed down where it's probably like 95% of the way there for you. That's why we spend some time on this. Listing description, same thing. Any output, what do you want? Have it remember it. All right, good questions, good conversation. I love it. Y'all ready to move to the next one? Okay. These are the settings. We talked about memory. Data controls. If you were in my class last week, you already turned this off, but I'm going to take you through this. Once you have an account created with every AI platform, you want to turn off or make sure it's off their data control setting. Because if you don't turn it off, it just means that every conversation you have with ChatGPT or your AI is being used to train the AI brain. And the place you go to turn that off is where we went already. Open your settings, click settings, find data controls, and where it says improve the model for everyone. You all see that? Click on that and just turn it off. And make sure with Gemini you're turning off data controls. Claude, I think, automatically has them turned off, but double check that. Your company's Copilot will have these turned off. The reason for this is we just don't know how AI works. And the best way I can explain it is you got to think about AI like a human brain. I can look right at you and ask you a question. It goes in one ear. I have no idea how your neurons fired to get the output out of your mouth. No one knows, even the people building it. Works just like a human brain. You don't know what the human next to you is thinking before they talk. So do you want to give someone you don't know, like what I want to tell you my date of birth and my social and my kids' names and date of birth and socials, and you might be the most safe, secure person and be a reputable person, but I just don't know what you might do with that, and so I'm going to keep that private. Does that make sense? So that's why we do data controls off. I would turn that off too. That has to do with the agentic stuff. That specifically means that when you're using AI to go browse websites that are password protected, that browser is not going to remember your passwords and usernames. Does that make sense? All right.
Can you go back to that slide, the first one?
Yeah. This one? All right. I'm going to skip to the bottom point here next. Choose the right model for the task. We're almost to the first break. We're going to, I think, about 10 more minutes and we'll be at the first break. So choosing the right model for the task. What does that mean? Y'all in ChatGPT with me? You see at the top where mine says ChatGPT Auto? And in your phone, you probably see a version of that. Click that drop down for me, if you have it. If you're on the free account, you may not have a drop down. Who are my freebies in here? It's okay. We listen, we don't judge. All right? So click that drop down, and what do you all see?
I don't have free, but I don't see that. I don't see that.
What do you see? On your phone, it might look a little different, but you should have a little, yeah, top banner. Look for a little arrow. Not GPTs. Yeah. Right where it says ChatGPT at the top on your phone.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
These are the different models that are built into your AI tools. They all have them, right? So if I jump over to Claude and I do a new chat here, I can choose the drop down. Which model do I want to use in Claude? If I'm in Gemini, I can jump into there and I can hit this drop down. What model do I want to use? You all see what I'm talking about? There's a lot. And when you're paying, you have more options. So the reason I bring this up is because most of us never think about this, and we go upload that 100-page document that needs to be right with a right answer, and we're using the fast mode or the auto mode. And when we've tested this extensively across massive data sets at Fidelity, we're the nation's largest title insurance underwriter. We close, I don't even know, 3 out of every 5 transactions, I think, in the country, across the country. We've tested this with real estate data, files, exams, court documents, everything. If you use fast mode for reviewing documents, there's a pretty high likelihood it's making stuff up or it's reorganizing information or doing it the wrong way. Because the way AI looks at a document, it just crops it up into screenshots and then kind of tries to give you an answer, but it blends the screenshots together with those fast answers. Let me see if I can give you a quick example. We'll use ChatGPT. So if I'm just on fast mode, instant, someone give me a current property address you have in your brain, maybe one you worked on today.
710 Beach Road, Hampton, Virginia.
Can you tell me about 710 Beach Road in Hampton, Virginia, from the perspective of a buyer maybe who's looking at this property? So this is on instant mode. Just look at the difference here. It is searching the web, I give it that. How many seconds did it search the web? 3. All right. So it's pulling, is that it? These are a bunch of different properties. First one, okay. So you would read this and it's pulled some stuff from Redfin. You all see these little links, that's where you can see where it's pulling stuff from, by the way. Pictures are not right. You would have to read through this and, okay, that's a lot of stuff for a 3-second look. There's probably some mistakes in here. Now let's do the same prompt on thinking mode. New chat. We're gonna change that into thinking mode. And let's do the same prompt. Let's see what happens. So it's actually going to start taking its time and break this out into reasoning. So while this is working,
Down here where they have the auto on the right and the search box, what was that? Because I don't have it.
are you paying?
Yes.
You should have thinking mode if you're paying.
I have the thing
Up.
at the top, but you had a drop box in the actual search that had like auto, like it was in your search on the homepage, but I don't have that drop down.
Oh, is this one of the ones that's only available on desktop and not on?
No. Thinking mode should be available. It's available everywhere. Who sees thinking mode like how I have it? Only if you pay.
I think the interface is different per if you're using a
It 100% is. Yeah. The interface is different from mobile, but are you on your phone or on your computer? Mac or Windows? I'm on Windows, so that's why. So here's what the deal is. ChatGPT is notorious for this. Like your layouts are different based on your device type. You might see, like mine sometimes will spit out, anyone ever had it spit out 2 responses? Which one do you prefer? I could be prompting it, it randomly decides to spit out 2 responses, and all of you are confused because it's like, I didn't get 2, right? So they are notorious for that. So the reason anything different you see is based on the Mac interface. Okay. Yep, so that solves that. All right, do you think 43 seconds is gonna be better than 3 seconds? So it thought for 43 seconds, and if you click on that, you can actually see what it went and looked through. It actually went through 74 sources for that thinking. All right? And so our output's probably going to be much better. You can see it's much more robust. You see that? So this is what, if you're ever doing things with large documents or things that need to be more factual, either use the deep research we talked about, which is going to take 30 minutes, or at least enable the thinking mode. And for sure, whenever you're reviewing documents of any kind, HOA, contracts, inspection reports, whatever it is, always go turn on thinking mode or Gemini thinking or Claude reasoning. Like, choose the model that slows it down. All right? Very important. Hopefully this helps you a little bit.
Is deep thinking and 5.4 available in ChatGPT, or is one or the other?
5.4 is their newest release, which is only thinking, and it's pretty cool. Y'all want to see something cool that I did the other day? So it's kind of the same idea. I don't think I deleted this chat. I probably still have it in here. Let me see. Now y'all see what I'm Googling. And by the way, I'm doing this, but you could absolutely just search at the top here where it has a search bar, search chats, and you could find chats of what you were talking about, by the way. So just FYI on that. I think I found it down here. Let me see if this is the one. Yeah, this is the one. So using thinking mode, this is an example of something you could do. I asked it, go to Zillow in my zip code where I live, 23322, and find all the 5-bedroom, 4-bath homes currently listed for sale. So yeah, 23322. And then put them into an Excel spreadsheet. So this is something thinking mode can do now, right? So it did that. Look at this, 26 minutes. It went out and researched for 26 minutes and gave me this spreadsheet where, again, I'm opening this up. This is your summary. Here are your active listings in the tab. With all the Zillow links. I asked it to use Zillow. And then your under contract stuff. So if you're using Thinking 5.4, it'll actually start building these spreadsheets and stuff for you right in the chat, right? And these are all downloadable files right to your computer that you can use. Does that make sense? So Thinking is their latest model, 5.4, and it can do some cool stuff with sheets and everything else. Back to what? Oh, yeah. I mean, this was just me testing it. So you can literally do whatever you want to prompt it for, any research. But I asked it to find all a certain kind of current actives for 5-bedroom, 4-bath in that zip code in Hickory.
Looking at that big volume of information, would Claude not be a better?
Yeah, so it's actually a great question because I just said Claude has a bigger window, right? So here's the distinction. If I had 46 files on my computer that I wanted to upload into the AI that had all these listing information in it, and I wanted it to organize it all for me into a spreadsheet, I would use Claude because I'm giving it a bunch of data. In this case, the difference is I asked it to go find online.
Gotcha.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
So the capability, the output ask here, what I'm asking it to look at is different than Claude versus chat. Hope that makes sense.
No, that makes perfect sense. The only question that comes out of that is, for this kind of search that you're doing, wouldn't Gemini be a better engine?
This is why I say you need 3 or 4. Because up until 5.4 dropped about a week and a half ago, you cannot do this in ChatGPT accurately using the thinking mode. It was running on 5.3. This is where by going to it and trying the same prompt in different ones, it's like, ooh, ChatGPT can now do this way better than Gemini could with deep research. Gemini will give you a full executive report. It'd probably be baked in there somewhere, but you'd have to manipulate it after the fact. Does that make sense? So it's kind of like having Claude, Gemini, and Chat. Go run the same prompt in all 3 and see what the output looks like for you. This is especially important if you're doing graphic design. I'm going to give you an AI that builds awesome flyers and stuff for you today. But I found that one because I was not willing to accept that ChatGPT just couldn't do it for me. Does that make sense? So great questions. Love where your head's at with it. And I hope that answers it.
It did.
Cool. Yes?
Would GPT update that to current spreadsheet?
Oh yeah, so if I had it rerun this today, I ran this last week. Okay. Hey, take this spreadsheet now. I need to refresh this today. Mm-hmm. It would do that.
So it's telling.
Again, make sure you're in that thinking mode. Because look, it took 26 minutes, right? That's 26 minutes of time you didn't have to do. So if you know what zip codes you're looking for stuff and you'd be going to Zillow anyway, I'm going to show you agentic AI, which can do it more like a human. This is AI thinking. ChatGPT is kind of using a mix of agentic and its traditional stuff to go do this work for you. Yeah.
So
I'll get to you.
it took 26 minutes, but did you wonder how long it was going to take beforehand? Or you just waited because you didn't care?
I didn't wait. I went and worked on things that mattered more.
Okay.
So this is the whole idea here for me. Like the key learning I want you all to walk away with today is you would have wasted, like this is important work. But with AI, you shouldn't be doing any data mining. All you should be doing is verifying. So you should be replacing the 45 minutes that you're spending on the MLS. AI can do that for you now. So you should stop doing that. And you should have AI do it so you can go get into your Facebook and DM 10 people you haven't talked to in 3 months and try to talk to them. Does it make sense? I hate to preach, but I hope that answers it. So I didn't know how long it was going to take. I just knew I wasn't going to go burn my eyeballs out looking at Zillow.
So basically, it's multitasking for you.
You need to think of, get AI doing the tasks that you would be sitting on my computer doing.
Right, and you could do something.
Go do something more important. That's better use of your time.
You can do it for multiple.
I promise I was coming to her first, Frankie. All right.
So I've been trying to think of how to do this task. So it sounds like Claude would be the best option for multiple databases within Excel spreadsheets.
Yes.
Scrubbing them, deleting duplicates, and making them consistent with columns and things like that.
100%. Claude will do that, and I'm going to get ahead of myself here, but the Claude desktop app has fully agentic capability to work on your computer locally, where you give it your whole documents folder and tell it, I want duplicates deleted, I want everything organized in folders per address and date, and it'll go do all that work, build any spreadsheet, pull any data in, do whatever you need right on your computer, right? So this is, again, the advancements where we're not scratching the surface. This is what we have today, and no one really knows, because the AI companies suck at actually making it real for a real estate agent. They're just, the programmers, the coders, they're just like throwing all this is cool. You know what they're doing with it? They're building like video games, you know? And it's like, truly, like when I see AI news, it's like someone recreated Minecraft in a day. Who freaking cares? My 6-year-old, not me, right? So how does that work for me? Well, it can go in your computer, look at all your files, and build you a spreadsheet in 5 minutes. That looks better than what you could build. And you'd have to watch 18 YouTube videos to figure out the freaking code for the spreadsheet. Yeah, so I'm going to show you just briefly in our second segment. Frankie, question.
So I noticed you have it on thinking mode. Can you run thinking mode and deep research at the same time?
Let's try. No.
Okay. I didn't know if you do something. I had tried that and it would not allow me.
There you go. In essence, deep research is kind of the output's just going to be different. It's built to go like read full websites to give you an executive report. I think the new 5.4 in ChatGPT is built to actually be more productive, which is go get what it needs, but being able to build the nice spreadsheet, the better flyer. Like this is more Manus-like, Jeremy, if you would ask me. This is using a little bit of a mix of agentic, and we'll talk about Manus in a moment.
So in other words, do you think it's best to use thinking mode or deep research, or it just depends on what you're using or what you're trying to do?
Depends on what you're using it for. If I need an output of a spreadsheet, thinking mode. If I need an output of a Word doc, thinking mode. If I just want to get information on the best place to stay with my family in Bermuda, it might be deep research. Make sense? All right. Yes?
So you only get this if you pay for ChatGPT, so on the free one, you don't have all that stuff.
Yeah. It made it for the free might use thinking mode if it needs to for your request, but because it takes extra energy and time and you're not paying them anything, you're low on the totem pole as far as priorities go. Does that make sense?
So I saw one for 20 and I saw one for 200. What's the difference?
Do the 20. You don't need the 200. 200 gives you access to this model, and we've tested it. And it doesn't even show anymore. It normally be grayed out. It's called Pro. That's where you could, for example, give it 50 photos of expense receipts and tell it to organize it, put it in spreadsheet. Like it will do a lot of cool tasks for you. I don't know that it's worth 200 with what we can do with Claude and thinking mode. So I think you'd be wasting your money right now. Yeah.
There's a ChatGPT app for Mac. I can't find it.
It's, should be.
I have it on my Mac.
Yeah, there should be. But something you might want to look at for your Mac would be the browser, Atlas, that they have for the Mac. We'll talk about that in a moment.
Hey, real quick, Andrew.
Yes.
Just in case anyone's wondering, because I actually had a couple people ask me this after the last time we did this session. They asked me, oh, so is he getting paid by ChatGPT or blah, 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 whatever, to sell us this?
I wish. Matter of fact, if you all want to write ChatGPT an email and say you need to pay this guy, I would love to be getting $2 a subscription. Yes.
So if I purchase one thing for $20 and then the Claude thing, is that different from?
Yep. So you have to choose, like, if you're finding the productivity, like, here's what I would do. Pay for a month, see if it's accomplishing heavy lifting for you, for what we talk about or what you're going to try. And if it is, it's worth it, right? The mindset on what I pay for AI is not an expense, although it is a write-off. Anyone? David from Schitt's Creek? Is it David? It's a write-off, right? It is a write-off, but I view this as a capital investment in my business. This is allowing me to save that 26 minutes of research and do more business creating activities. Now, if you're just going to let it do the hard work and go sit and drink alcohol and not work, then it's not good. Then it is an expense.
That sounds like that's a problem.
I know, you should see my bourbon collection. So, but does that make sense? Like, capital investment, that's the mentality on it. And I get maybe $100 a month is steep. But no, I've always believed in real estate, you should know your calculations based on your GCI and everything else to know what you pay yourself per hour for your work. And if you know what your per hour work is worth, you should be able to reverse engineer all the activities that you need to do to get to that GCI. You should be able to reverse engineer, like, where you're spending your time. That's the lens I view it through. So I'm all in probably around, I don't know, between 200 and 300 a month in subscriptions now. But I use them and it helps me scale. Great questions. The last little setting before we get to break. I know this is a little longer, but it's been good. Everyone feel like this has been good conversation, some good learnings. So I want to take our time and make sure this is not feeling rushed for you today. The final setting you should explore within all your AIs, and this is one I do recommend Claude for because it does it more accurately, would be connectors. So that's the final bullet on that slide. So is anyone in here using connectors into your AI chat currently?
What is that?
Yeah. What is it? I don't know. I give up. No, I'm kidding. Connectors are this. Any platform you're using, like email, Google Drive, Calendar, Canva, you can link those accounts into your AI if they have an integration. So you like in ChatGPT, add app, connect Canva. And what that allows the AI to do from a chat is just go look in that platform and get data from that platform for you faster. So I don't need to go upload. If we have a broker share drive that has like logos and brand guidelines and like scripts and things like that, if I connect that into my ChatGPT or Claude or whatever AI permits it, I can just go in the chat and say, hey, go into my share drive and pull our brand guidelines in here for me and help me craft this post in Canva. Does that make sense? It's not going to make the post in Canva, but it'll tell you every step to build it in Canva, but it'll follow your brand guidelines. So connectors for the win. Now, my biggest two, I'm just going to share from personal use because this is what I do every day. I like Claude for this. I have my calendar and my Gmail connected. So what I do every day is go in, and this is what I just did for the class. Please go check my Gmail from the beginning of this week. Let me know if there are any emails I need to respond to that I have not yet. So AI in your inbox to be able to, at the end of the day, hey, what did I miss today? Help me find those things. That's huge for me because I have 100 emails plus a day to suss through. And it's a huge time suck. We all live there. I've tested this with ChatGPT. I've tested this with Gemini within Gmail. And Claude has done a better job than both of those. ChatGPT made emails up that never existed. I asked ChatGPT one day, I speak for a living, right? It responded, Andrew, you got 3 emails from some brokers in South and North Carolina. They want to bring you in to speak. I got to start getting excited. I go on my Gmail, there's no such emails. Just trying to make me feel good. AI is actually, ChatGPT notoriously is built to validate you. and try to make you feel good. So be aware of that. When it tells you you're right in the argument with your hubby or your wife, you're probably not. It's just trying to make you feel good. So remember that. So it ran through these. So for this week, the emails that need your attention, Lee, I met with her yesterday. You owe her some things. And then you got a PTO request. I added this on the calendar, invited my email to it for my calendar. You got this PTO request, so this is just from there. It looks like it's a FYI, et cetera, et cetera. Now, here's where I like Claude a lot. How many of you need to take action on the email? Okay. So let's just pretend that I'm going to email Lee. I'm just going to have this done for myself. So I give it Lee's email instead, right? But I can say, go ahead and respond to Lee with I'm just going to say XYZ, and place that email in a draft and I'm just going to use my email, not hers. Now, if I'm on my app on my phone, y'all, I do this by talking to it. Mike, great, reply to that email, put it in my drafts. This is what I like Claude for. Claude will actually do that. So any email I'm drafting, it'll go put it in my drafts in my Gmail, ready to send. I could also have it add anything to my calendar and invite anybody to it. So it actually will go do those things for you. Does that make sense? Would this help anyone? I mean, I've tried the ChatGPT. No, sorry, can't put anything in your drafts. I asked Gemini within Gmail, can you put this in my drafts or send it? Nope, sorry. I can draft it for you though. You copy paste it. Claude is the only one I've tried so far, and there are other third-party tools that have it, but it's the only one I've tried so far connected that'll go write everything and put it in where I can just go hit send. So again, not going to say it, but it's going to do it. I think I crashed the internet. Any questions on this? Yeah.
So when you're telling the ChatGPT or Claude, which is recommended to draft an email, you're just drafting an email. It's not actually physically sending it.
Correct. It's going to be right in my Gmail drafts.
It'll be in your draft and you physically have to, I guess, revise it and then.
Yeah, like if you think about scaling some work you have to do, how many of you have a CRM? How many of you have you keep good notes? So go in your CRM, export your spreadsheet of people with notes for them that you haven't contacted in 90 days. Upload that spreadsheet into Claude if it's connected to your Gmail or your email that you're using. Again, I think it's only Gmail. It doesn't connect to Outlook, so sorry. Use Copilot for this. Copilot will actually do some of this in Outlook. And it froze, so I'll refresh in a minute. But upload the spreadsheet, and I would say something like, hey, review all my notes for these people. I haven't reached out in 90 days, right? Claude knows who I am and what I do. I've had it remember a lot. Go ahead and draft a nice outreach email to each one and put it in my drafts. That would potentially move the conversation forward to the next step. Let it do that work, and then all you got to do when you're in your time block is go review each draft, maybe tweak a few words, customize it a little bit, and hit send. Does that make sense? So for me, that's like a sales productivity. Still don't want it to send the email or anything like that. I don't want it to be AI slop, but I'm going to let it get my foundation down and give me the discipline to just have to go click send. Yes, ma'am.
And that's in Claude, right?
This is Claude. Yep. I'm going to refresh this here, and then we're going to take a break after this, I believe. So.
Real quick, you said you have to have the email connected to the ChatGPT or the Claude in order for that to work, right?
Correct. You have to connect it into Claude, right? So when you get into Claude and open your settings, you're going to be able to say get apps and extensions, and then add in your email, add in anything it has available that you use. And as you can see, they're right here in the chat for me. If I start a new chat, well, it was earlier. Here you go. Connectors, Gmail and Google are turned on. You see that? Add from Google Calendar, manage connectors. Here's what it can do. I have it allowing drafts, email threads, and you can add in GitHub and Google Drive with Claude. So again, it's built for Google right now. Copilot will do this. Does that answer your question?
Yes, but also it depends on how you label it and name it, because it has to be defined as well, right?
No, not at all, because the AI is super smart. So when it's in your inbox, it's trying to be your assistant. So it's reading every email, summarizing the thread, telling you what it's about. So it doesn't matter how the email's named. The email could have no subject. It's still going to be able to find what you need from the thread. Oh, I'm sorry, I missed that. So yeah, no, you would need to actually give it the spreadsheet. There's not an integration into your CRM. So you'd have to export those contacts, which most CRMs can do. If not, get with your administrator and just say, I want a spreadsheet of all the people I haven't talked to in 90 days plus all their notes. And then you're uploading using the plus sign, and you're bringing that file, that Excel spreadsheet, into the chat and then asking Claude to go review and draft emails for you.
So you would import the.
Give it the data set. Yeah.
So they haven't then seen.
Correct. And Claude is one, but the data controls, I'm okay with doing that. Claude is built to be a little more ethical and secure than all the other AIs. Questions or thoughts? Good? Y'all ready for a quick break? Bathroom break and coffee? I think we're at time for that. So take a 10-minute break, and then we're going to come back and get into AI search and the agentic stuff, which we've been tippy-toeing around here. All right. How are we feeling? Good? I had a couple folks come up with questions that I asked them to just ask the group before we jump back in, because I think they'll benefit everybody. The first one was about Canva. So how many of you get in ChatGPT and, there we go, I'm now being tracked. Hello, Mom. So how many of you get in ChatGPT and you try to have it do something for you in Canva and it's like, I can do that. And then you're like, great, go do it. And then it's like, sorry, I can't. Anyone? So you were sharing your work around, like, is there some like API or something with Canva? Like, not really. Canva is one of those sites that even the stuff I'm about to show you with agentic AI, you can more than welcome to try to get it to do stuff in Canva for you. I haven't cracked that code yet because Canva is a super difficult site to navigate where like, where's the transparency filter? It's under like 2 random little clicks and you got to know exactly where to click. So the AI sometimes struggles with that. The bootstrap that you were talking about, which I thought was great, was you have it generate like an AI image, and then you upload that into Canva and use the magic grab features in Canva to kind of move things around or edit or put your logo over it. So that is kind of a good bootstrap. And then what I also do, I don't know if I have one that I can show, but I'll be working in Canva on my computer, and I'll have ChatGPT on my phone. And sorry, I got to make sure my notes start recording again. Hold on one second. Multitask. See, like file cabinet. All files open all the time, right? ChatGPT knows me. So I'll have my phone up while I'm working on Canva, and I'll just take a picture in the ChatGPT chat of my design, and I'll say, like, help me refine this with my brand voice, because ChatGPT knows me pretty well. Oh, you need to turn the background at 90 degrees, use this font, move that a little higher, turn this word that color, and it really does a great job just stepping you through the design from a picture. Does that make sense? So that's my bootstrap.
You're saying you create an image in Canva first.
I'm working in Canva. I might even have just a blank screen with the words I want to use. So I take a picture of that, and I just literally take pictures while I design it. But what it does, it saves me from fumbling around. And so I can normally get something done in Canva within 15 minutes versus an hour. And it looks better because like ChatGPT puts that professional grade graphic designer brain to it that I just don't have. Like my stuff's always going to look a little like my presentation, just put together. Like that's just my brain put there for you, right? If I'm putting it out on social, I want to pretty it up a little bit, right? So that's a hack. Then the second question, you want to ask that one?
So since we can use this and get all this information, the general public can do the same thing, right?
Yes.
So this is the webmaster.
This is my biggest like aha. I need y'all to have. No, I keep saying that the biggest. This is one of the biggest you need to have. And I mentioned it earlier briefly. Millions of consumers are using AI heavily. So, to sell their home? Yes. Did anyone see the news article recently? I'm gonna play it. You want me to play it for you? I have it on my phone. I hope this will come through and play. My $90 adapter, it better work. All right, so tell me if y'all see my phone screen. Okay. This is the headline. Man uses ChatGPT to sell his Florida home and said it exceeded our expectations. This was from March 10th, just a few days ago. Can we hear it? Oh no. Oh, there we go.
For a lot of things, but would you use it to sell your home? A South Florida father said, sure, why not? Before scheduling an open house, he relied on an open algorithm using ChatGPT and artificial intelligence throughout the entire home sale process. And he says it saved him tens of thousands of dollars. It's this week's Innovation on 6.
So this is the house. We're really going to miss it.
After 15 years in his Cooper City home, Robert Levine decided it was finally time to sell. But instead of contacting a real estate agent, he turned to the power of the prompt. ChatGPT.
I really wanted to challenge myself to use AI for the entire journey, not just piecemeal, every step along the way.
The married father of 3 says he used artificial intelligence for everything. The planning, the pricing, the marketing, even the paint.
We repainted a couple of rooms in the house because ChatGPT said that's where you're going to get the biggest return on investment. The most important thing it did for us was build out a timeline. Here's when you need to start packing your house.
ChatGPT helped Robert design the marketing materials like his open house handout and the online listing. Then told him how to get his home listed on the MLS, the multiple listing service, scheduled his showings, and suggested the best day to list his home.
We ended up listing on a Tuesday.
Turned out to be terrific timing.
I think within the first 72 hours, we had 5 offers on the home already, which was tremendous.
The Levines still held the open house scheduled for that following Saturday, but by Sunday morning, 5 days after listing their home, they had a signed contract. A contract generated by, you guessed it, ChatGPT.
It's exceeded our expectations.
Robert did
Okay. Who saw that? This is NBC News putting it out there. So do you think your consumers are not figuring out how to use AI? I mean, we already hated FSBOs.
Florida is a different beast, so can you really say that?
Okay. No, I can't because I don't know Florida. But within your question, look at both sides of that. This is not a stick my head in the sand moment. Florida's not like Virginia at all. This is just be aware. This is coming. So if consumers are doing it, now this guy's super advanced. He probably works in tech, owns a software development firm, right? So he's probably in the top 5% of AI users who are figuring out how to do some of this stuff. And there's always going to be the FSBOs that are going to figure it out on their own anyway. So I'm not going to read too much into this. What I will say is if you're hesitating in using AI for certain parts or thinking that your consumer is going to tell that you used AI for certain parts, they already are. And so if you're not, you need to flip your lens. I think that's a miss on your part. It's okay to use AI to be faster and quicker. And some of the things it's talking about, like pricing and stuff, I've done hundreds of CMAs live. We're going to do one today. I have professionals in the room all the time that tell me that pricing it came up with is not where we need to be. So we're going to use it for data mining, not pricing strategy. That's like the boots on the ground expertise you all have. You know that this line over here separates X from Y, and therefore Y is more expensive than X, right? So there's so much local expertise, and this is why that authentic, what I went back to, like connecting with your sphere, showing up more, being present. I think as the world gets more and more into AI, that stuff's going to start to shine. Does that make sense? So it was a really good question. Yes, your consumers are using it for things in their life. Real estate related, they're probably fact checking you as you walk them through a house on what you're telling them. I had a realtor up in Northern Virginia tell me the other day that she's had 3 buyers in the last 3 weeks be wearing the Meta glasses, recording every single home they're walking through. Just be aware. Be aware. All right, y'all feel good on that? Probably not, but that's more of a wake-up call. So, all right, let's keep it rolling. Again, I don't know that there will not, there again, always going to be that percentage of people that do it alone. But don't sleep on that either. And don't say I'm not going to use AI because people aren't going to like it. I think the vast majority of Americans are starting to like it. So, all right. I'm rolling through these very quick. Sorry, was there a question?
I guess my thoughts are like, he took pictures of his house and it told him what color to paint it. Do we feel like consumers are going to take AI as like say all and be all, or human? I don't know, because I tell people what colors to paint their house too.
Again, totally depends on the person.
Right.
I would go back to the validation. You may have to educate your client at some point in the next year or two, because they're going to say, ChatGPT told me.
And I'll be like, okay.
And then I want you to pull out your ChatGPT and say, let me see your prompt. Put the same prompt into your ChatGPT and show them how your ChatGPT validated you. Does that make sense? There's a whole, remember I talked about Ryan Serhant, his video like 2 days ago talking about this, told the seller it was priced too low, told the buyer it was priced too high, blew up the contract.
Well, that's, I feel like also we had multiple offers. Was it priced low?
Bingo. So was the AI acting as a fiduciary and actually knowing the market well enough to get him the stuff he needed to know? So yes, I love where your brain's at because you're starting. But it's not our fault, it's our problem, right? Like we are not, AI is not exclusive to the real estate industry for us to use. So know that your consumers may trust AI because it validates them. It makes them feel good. It makes them feel like they're on the right track. This is the dichotomy of what we're getting into in society today with AI.
It's the same problem that we face right now with Zillow and assessment. Get a client comes to me and go, well, Zillow says it's this. And I had one just a couple days ago. Said, oh, Zillow says it should be at 409.
Yep.
Oh, we're going to be listing at 487.
Right.
So, you know.
Yep. Those estimates can get zesty sometimes. Yeah. Calm down, Zillow, right? But no, I do believe, pardon that, empty bottle problems. So I do believe that the out-localing and local expertise is paired with the speed of what AI can help you do, helps you do that better at scale. Does that make sense? So yes, challenge away, because if you know, especially if it's going to be priced low, whoa, pump the brakes. AI doesn't have the local nuance to understand what we understand about the market. And in a moment when we do the CMA, if you all know the area we're doing the CMA in, I'm going to see your heads nodding and shaking as we talk through some of the stuff it puts out, because you know the area. So you're going to know, yes, that's right, or no, that's not right. You have those local nuance that just AI cannot have without boots on the ground. Okay, 3 things. Voice prompt whenever you can. Very self-explanatory. You've all seen me doing it today, right? Hit that microphone and talk. The little tip with that, I like to share because many people don't know this, is when ChatGPT is running that microphone and you're talking to it, you can leave ChatGPT and go to other pages and keep talking about the thing, both on your phone and on your computer. Did y'all know that? So if I have like a spreadsheet up in my social media and I need to like have it draft something, but I want to go research something real quick, I can just keep talking to it or just pause. It's going to keep listening until I start talking again. And I can go over there and do that. Does that make sense? So again, time savings, right?
So how do you tell it to like stop eavesdropping on you when somebody else walks in the room and you don't run?
Oh, then you got to turn it off. But to the point earlier, so to that point, what I'm talking about specifically in ChatGPT is this guy right here. So when that's running, this will run up for up to 10 minutes. So I can jump over here into this tool, or this tool, or this tool, and it's still running until I'm done. And when you're done, you just hit the checkbox and it's going to transcribe whatever I said. So if you're done and someone comes in, hey, hold up a minute, turn that off. Or just, let it catch the tea. ChatGPT is human too. No, I'm just kidding. It's not. I'm joking, y'all. Don't let me lose you. Okay. So tasking. This one, for me, is huge. The AI I'm going to show you how to do a task in is actually, you can do this in ChatGPT. I'm going to do the prompt in Manus because I want to show you, Manus to me is one of the better AIs. And if you're like, Andrew, you didn't talk about Manus yet, write it down. It's MANUS. But this is the AI that can design some pretty awesome collateral for you from a graphic perspective. And it's one that, when doing tasks, can go out and find stuff for you online, build full reports. And I'm going to show you a prompt example for a task of what you can build. So any of your AIs can do tasks. Now, most of you are on ChatGPT, so I'm going to give you an example of a task that ChatGPT can do well. And ChatGPT can do this one well. This is more like a content pack, okay? How many of you make content? We're going to talk about content tools. This is more to get you the stuff you should put out in content. What types of content are we putting out? So social posts, what else? So let's just classify all social posts on all platforms as social posts. Like you're posting written and or pictures and or videos, right? What other types of content should you be sending or putting out to your sphere? Newsletter? How many of you do have a consistent newsletter going out? You really should. It's it's still the best ways to kind of show up with your database sphere, but I think sometimes our newsletters are everything about real estate, and I think they should be about stuff that matters to your sphere, right? What else? So emails. Yeah, so the next thing we're about to talk about would be blogging. Like you need to be blogging, and AI makes that so easy now, there's really no excuse not to. So that kind of will cover this, but this is, again, tasking in ChatGPT just means I'm gonna tell it to set up a reoccurring task on a certain day and time, and it's gonna go perform that for me every time. Think of it like scheduling a reoccurring appointment, right? But the AI is gonna go run it for you. So I like this for content, and the prompt for this is pretty simple. I'm just gonna talk through it. Hey ChatGPT, so what I want you to do as I focus on better content this year, I'd like you to go and set up a task that reoccurs every Thursday morning for me at 5 a.m. What I want you to do every Thursday at 5 a.m. is go out in the Newport News, Hampton Roads area and find any reputable news sources that have any articles on housing, community development, real estate, mortgage, any new food places. What else, y'all? What else you want to put in here? Anything that would matter to the sphere of a real estate agent. I want at least 15 topics every week. So cite those back to reputable news sources, and then what you must do is for each one of those topics, write me my own blog post for that of 500 to 700 words. Give me a social media post, either a video script of 30 to 40 seconds or a written social media post that talks about that topic. Again, one for every blog post you write. And then finally, take the top 4 or 5 things that have to do with like upcoming events for people and maybe new food spots or new community development or school news, and compile a weekly newsletter I can send out every Friday morning like, hey neighbors, this is what you need to know in your community this week. So go ahead and set that up again every Thursday at 5 a.m. Did I miss anything on that one?
Is it gonna put the word prompt? That's too much for me right here.
Oh, you're gonna get this, yeah. You don't even have to take a picture if you don't want to, you can. I'll leave this right up here because we're gonna send this out. Jeremy's gonna send you all a guide that we're gonna make that has every tool, step, and prompt in it, so don't worry. That's why we're recording it. Back on me, all right. Paid, this is a paid feature only for all the AIs because it's gonna go run this for you. ChatGPT will do up to 10 tasks at any given time. So you can have a content pack, you could have other things here too. Ask me your question one more time. I don't think I answered it.
You have to physically say which blog you're...
No. My prompt is go find reputable news sources that are already putting out stuff on these topics. And then I just told it to rewrite in my voice for each of those topics for my blog.
My mind is blown because I literally skim the internet for every event going on, every this,
Yeah.
and put this together the hard.
If you want to just do this like without tasking it too, if you want to do this without tasking, thinking mode we just talked about, turn that on and say, go find me all the upcoming events for spring in Newport News. And I want this for my sphere. So you can put this to work in a couple different ways, right? The task is going to go run though, and it's going to come back and it's going to deliver that. So that's how you set up a task. You just tell it. And you see it pop up right here? You click on it, it's going to tell you the prompt, that's my task. To find those, you can only find those on your desktop version of ChatGPT. In your menu, you open the menu, go under settings, just take a picture of this, and right here where you see schedules, and then you can click manage schedules. And that's how you get to any tasks that you currently have set up. So I have these 5 now running. Yes.
So do you have it connected to where it's gonna post, or it just gives it to you, you go and grab it?
Yeah, it won't post anything. What's gonna happen as an output is you're gonna get that a push notification to your phone or device. You're gonna open that chat, and it's gonna have everything delivered to you in that chat. So from there, what we're about to talk about, if you want agentic AI to do something with it, you can, or you can just take it and do it yourself. Does that make sense? Cool. Any other questions on that, the tasking?
Show us again that.
On where to find?
You know, like just the steps in which you just say, just went into search and then schedule manage.
Yep, so right here, settings, and then schedules, and then manage. And from there, it's pretty self-explanatory.
So basically give it the request for all the tasks.
That's to see what you have scheduled. The way you set up a task is just by talking to it. Tell it what time and when and how often.
That's for the paid version only.
Paid version only. With all the AIs. They're not going to go out and do all this work for you if you're not paying. No, yeah, I mean, like, think about it. But $20 for all this is pretty incredible when you would spend an hour on yourself. Okay, the third thing on that slide is the meeting notes transcriptions. Y'all, who's doing this in your practice currently? Like, you're trying to record as many meetings as you can? Can you just tell me, like, the mental margin you have in your life? Can you just be a live testimonial? Anyone else doing this for every meeting you're in, where you record it?
Gemini.
Can you guys just talk about, like, how having that transcript gives you your life back?
It was wonderful. Like, I normally have the buyer record, because my home inspector gives an overview. They can remember all of that. I said, you're not going to remember it, so you're going to need this to play with, you know, while you're looking at the report.
Yep.
But using the notebook, it actually gave a summary. It gave you points to look at. It just summarized it in a way that, you know, a basic recording would never do. And then also buyer consultations. It just picks out the important features of the recording, and it's just a very good reference for the buyer. And it looks professionally done, and it looks like, you know, to the buyer that you did a lot of work.
So to break that down, you're taking the transcript of the meeting that you recorded. You mentioned Notebook, so I'm assuming you're giving that to Notebook, LM, and having it build like outputs for you can use in your follow-up.
Mm-hmm.
Powerful. So we're going to look at that in a moment, so stay tuned.
When you go, I'm assuming when you go to the next slide, can you break it down? Because I wasn't at the last session, so where are we recording?
Oh yeah, so who wants to share? Like, Frankie, what do you use to record your meetings?
I use Otter AI.
Otter AI is a good one. OTTER.ai. It's an app.
Yes.
You can have it integrated with your Zoom. You pay?
Yes.
How much?
It's hold on, I think that's
You're good. I use an app called,
I think it's like $20 a month.
yeah, I use an app called the Minutes app, just Minutes. It's a blue circle. I pay $14.99 a month. But every single one of my meetings from this year, the entire transcript and notes, I'll just show you, I'll scroll on the screen here so you'll kind of see it, just how much I'm scrolling, not the meeting stuff. Every meeting from this year is in there. See that? Every transcript. The mental margin alone of not having to leave a meeting and think to go on to the next thing and know that in 3 days when I go follow up, I have that whole transcript that Jeremy and I talked about. So I'm going to know exactly what we need to do and be able to follow up about his kids because it captured everything. It's powerful.
So they have a pro version that's $833 a month, and they have a business version which is $19.99 a month.
Yep.
And they do have an enterprise version.
Here's what I will say is any of the AI note takers you use, you're going to pay for. It's a pay thing, but the margin you get back to never have to forget stuff again is massive. And it's just a discipline of starting to record every meeting you're in. That's all it takes. But you had a question, I think.
What about the phone calls?
Yeah, so that's a big one, right? So like I have 2 phones. Not for those reasons. Get your minds out of the gutter. I can't even say those words in here. Personal and business, y'all. Personal and business. So for me, it's solved because I'm in the same login on Minutes on either phone. So whatever phone I'm on a call, I just start the other one. And it listens on speaker in the car or whatever. A device my brother uses that we like and we recommend, it's called PLAUD, P-L-A-U-D. Anyone heard of PLAUD? It's big in real estate. I know entire broker teams who have it for their team. You can get a wearable device, or they have one that's like a credit card and it attaches to the back of your phone, and when you answer the phone, it just automatically starts recording. PLAUD. And these are all like SOC 2, SOC 3, good secure AIs, like you're good with data on these. These are all built, that's why you're paying. If you've been to the doctor recently, you probably had your doctor using AI to record the meeting, because that's what they do now, most of them. So like, again, this is a consumer expectation, almost. Completely up in the air if you want to do this on the first time you meet or not, but for sure on any subsequent meetings, on walkthroughs of the home, on inspections, on like even buyer consults. Like I position it this way with my clients. Hey, I want to be fully present and listen. I don't want to be distracted taking notes, and I don't want to miss anything that's absolutely important to you. So do you mind if I use my little app here to record our meeting for notes? So we're all on the same page. And I've never had anyone say no. But on the flip side, Virginia is a one-party consent state, so you technically don't have to disclose to anybody, just like they don't have to disclose to you if they're recording you. But you do what you think is right there. Talk to your broker, do the right thing. Does that make sense? Cool. Any questions or thoughts on this? I promise if this is the one thing you take and implement in your life from today, this will give you the most actual, like, noticeable lift mentally by using AI. Now, why is it up here on this screen? Because I take that transcript when I'm ready to work on it right from the PLAUD app or the Minutes app or the Otter app. And I just paste the whole transcript right into my AI tool. All right, I'm working to follow up with Frankie. What did we talk about? What do I need to know? Tell me the personal details so when I call him, I can reference that. Help me draft this, help me do that. And draft my notes for my CRM, draft the follow-up emails to anybody involved, and boom, from one transcript, it's done. Does that make sense? It's very simple, actually. It's one of the more simple things you can do with AI. But this will give you lift. Okay. How are we feeling, y'all? Good? Now, the next part, this is tactical. This is like in the world of AI search, you're all going to do an activity, so we're going to break the monotony of my voice. I want you all to open your AI, and you can have a Google browser open too. But a couple stats I'm going to throw at you before we do this activity. Does anyone know as a percentage, how many Americans go to AI first over Google now? It's a little less than that. It's around 40% right now. 40% of consumers in America go to AI for search type queries before they don't even go to Google anymore. And the users who are going to AI for their queries are 4 times more likely to take that answer as truth, we talked about that, and act on it than someone who's doing a Google query. So like, track all this stuff. It's pretty interesting based on clicks and what people decide to do. So what does that mean? Do you all know what the #1 Google or AI search term right now is in real estate? This was like a week ago, so it could be outdated, but I'm still going to use it. Why is my home not selling? In real estate, why is my home not selling? Our guy in Florida had no problem. Priced it too low. So, if you were to go in as a consumer and be like, man, I've listed my home with this agent, it's been on the market for 90 days. Now I'm going to AI. I might say something like, what would your consumer type into AI? What do you think they would say?
What can I do to sell my house?
They might tell it more than that. They're talking to it, right? They're doing the things we're doing.
Is there a better agent?
Yeah, so they may say something like, who's the best agent in Newport News to actually sell my home? I've had it listed for 90 days and it's not selling. All right? So here's what I want y'all to do. Go in your ChatGPT and just search for whatever you think your customer might be querying about a real estate agent. Just do that search, but don't tell it to reference you. Go do that. Why is my home not selling? Who's the best agent to help me with it in my area? Go do that search. You could just say, who's the best real estate agent in Hampton, Virginia, to use for buying a home? If you're a buy-side agent, go ask a question around buying. If you're a list agent that does heavy listings, go ask a question about listings. Pretend like you're a consumer.
This is in both or just in chat?
Just do it in chat. We're going to pretend like we're one of these 40% of Americans. That number increases every day, by the way. Shoot. ChatGPT about to... Some Italian justice right there. About to... Y'all reading some stuff?
I am. How are they getting these people? I mean, I know that they are large teams.
Okay. Okay.
So I guess it's their volume, but how do you compete with, I'm not a team.
Yeah, we're going to talk about it. What did it say?
It just said the reasons why I could not say it's overpriced. It knows better to cross.
I want you to challenge it. You know why it's doing that? It's trying to make you feel good. But say, no, for real, if I needed to use a real estate agent for this, I really need you to tell me who and why in the area is best. Like, don't take no for an answer. All right, anyone get your own name? Did anyone get someone's name in the room? No. If you did, we want to give them props. Good job. This happened the other day. Someone in the room came up. That was cool. Now I just want a couple of you to shout out, what did it say? But you don't have to tell me who it said, but why did it say it recommended them? Can a few of you just read that out for me? Let's start over here. Couple volunteers.
Well, they work often in your specific neighborhood.
Okay.
Recent sales similar to your price range. The communication in the way you like. They have strong negotiation experience.
And is there a source for that? Like the link, does it say a link where it cited that from?
No.
Okay. Normally you're going to see like Zillow, you're going to see like reviews. Did anyone see stuff about reviews? Effective agents. Okay. So do you know how AI is going out and searching stuff? It's just searching for, number one, it normally looks at reviews, right? And then it's going to go from there. I'm going to give you kind of a breakdown on what you can do about it. But there's not a secret magic bullet for getting yourself to show up. But what I want to give you is the tactic strategy to have a chance to show up. Okay? And then it's up to you to just be consistent with it. It's like SEO. There's no magic bullet unless you're paying for an ad to be on top of Google. You know, ChatGPT is rolling out ads, but individuals can't even buy them. It's just big companies, right? So if you can't buy an ad and you want to just be organically recommended, I'm going to give you what it would take. You can do with it what you want. This is not a guarantee of success. This is what AI looks at. These are the real top 3 things. Number 1, have a Google business profile. Who in here has a Google business profile? I think most every agent I talk to nowadays does, because we would preach that for years. Once you have a Google business profile, you want to capture reviews consistently. You cannot. Verification issues and all of that, because Google is just a pain in the you-know-what. Can be. Got to figure that out. You might have to go through a more manual process with them, but figure it out for sure, because that's a great place to start. Getting reviews and responding to them are 2 of the highest things you can do for your Google business profile. Just keep it simple. So have a profile, get reviews, and respond to every single one. So if you haven't responded to one, go respond to it. And then there's this thing on the screen called NAP, which means name, address, phone. This matters very heavily to AI. So I'll give you an example. If your Google business profile says Andrew Hooper, realtor, and then my website is Andrew William Hooper, and then on LinkedIn I'm Andrew Hooper Inc., and my Facebook business page. So NAP consistency, your name, address, phone across where you're found online, really matters. So the next thing I want you to do real quick to get you started down this path is in that same thread, or you can start a new one, it doesn't really matter, but prompt ChatGPT to look yourself up. This is kind of like Googling yourself. It's not a guarantee this is what it's going to show to someone who AIs you. But if I'm the type of consumer that if you reach out to me trying to help me buy or sell and I don't really know you, I'm going to go to AI and say, hey, Jeremy Williams is calling me from XYZ brokerage. Like, is he legit? Does he know what he's doing? Like, before I decide to respond. You know what I mean? So go ahead and do that. AI search yourself real quick. This is going to see what AI is pulling from, and then you can make sure on those sites your stuff is consistent. Your name, address, phone is consistent. The second piece here is blog content, but it needs to be structured the right way. So you all remember like 10 years ago, if you looked up a recipe, what did you get? You click on the recipe page, Better Homes and Gardens, and there's a line that's like, when I was a 5-year-old boy, my dad would open the drawer and pull out this temperature notebook. And it's like 700 words you got to scroll through to find the freaking recipe for how long to cook your ribs on the grill, right? Because that's all I wanted to know about. I didn't become a big boy by accident. So that's a problem with AI for today. If someone is searching for a specific question, which most people do, how do I sell my home faster? If you want your content to come up and be a resource, it needs to give that answer. It's called bottom line up front. If you see BLUF, bottom line up front means you put that answer at the top. So your headline should answer the client's question, and the next 50 to 70 words should give a no fluff, no BS, direct answer. The whole point basically of your article. Does that make sense? And then tell the flowery stories below it. But that needs to be at the top. Well, they won't stay on my page. Who cares? It's not, if you want to stand out in AI search, that's one of the top things you can do. And if you're repurposing blog posts across sites like LinkedIn, you should be posting articles on LinkedIn. Because look at the third bullet point. The top 3 most cited sources in AI search are YouTube, Reddit, and LinkedIn. AI is not watching YouTube videos, it's reading video descriptions. Every one of your video descriptions on YouTube, if you have a channel, or if you're going to start one, should follow this. Bottom line up front description with a 500 to 700 word blog post basically in your video description. Does that make sense? But it should be about your video. It should be based on the transcript of the video. For YouTube? For YouTube. But it should be written differently for your website. And it should be written differently for LinkedIn. So the key here with AI is you don't have to write all 3. Just tell AI, I want a version for my YouTube video description. Bottom line up front. I want a different version that matches my LinkedIn audience. Bottom line up front. And I want a version for my website. Bottom line up front. Trust signals. It doesn't look like you're just copy pasting the same thing. That matters to AI. It's subliminal, but it matters. Any questions on that? Is this making sense so far? This is, again, very tactical, but these are the steps to actually have a shot. Yes?
This is to make you stand out from the others?
Yep. Think through what people that might need a real estate agent are asking AI and make sure you have content that's directly answering those questions. This is old SEO YouTube stuff. This is from like a decade ago. We taught the same thing, like have a YouTube video with the title that answers the question someone's Googling, right? Questions are the answer. Great book if you haven't read it. It talks all about that. But it still is the same with AI today.
What's the name of that book?
Questions are, sorry, wrong book. Questions Are the Answer is an amazing book. That book is called, shoot, I just caught myself with the wrong title here. Questions Are the Answer, Hal Gregerson, that's good. This is called They Ask, You Answer. And I believe the author is Marcus Sheridan. Anyone can fact check me on that, please do. They Ask, You Answer. It's a great book to talk about how to build a business through online search. And it applies really today with AI, the same concepts more than ever before.
Just so I can make sure I'm transcribing this right, you said answer the question in the title of the
Yeah, so in code on websites, if you're using, this is nerd, so I'm sorry, this is nerd speak. If you're using HTML, does anyone know, like when I say HTML, that's code, right? Like that's how things are structured. Your headlines, there's 6 different H codes that signify how big the words are. So basically like H1 is the biggest, H2. H2 is normally going to be the size of the title of your blog post. So you want to make sure your H2 heading, which you can tell ChatGPT this, is the answer, kind of the direct correlation to what the question would be. So if the question is, why is my home not selling in this market? Your H2 headline should say, here's why your home is not selling in this market, right? And then the 50 to 70 words right below that should be like your opinion, like your words on why, the actual answer. Give them that bottom line stuff up front. Don't make them wait.
Marcus Sheridan.
It is correct? Good. Yeah, great book. I read it years ago. It's built for SEO and how he built a swimming pool business. But it's about being clear online and giving consumers the answers they need online. And AI is built, and it actually gets anxious about providing you, the user, the right answer for you. So if you can start answering clients' questions with your content, like I would be having my Instagram captions, my YouTube video description, everything needs to like give that answer to the main point you're making. That if you adopt that, you'll have a better chance. So again, this is not a magic pill. This takes work and consistency. And there are studies that are showing right now that it's better, like quantity is not always a good thing. It's better to have 25 core articles that you simply rewrite every quarter and update. Like don't just update the date on your website or your LinkedIn, like go in and repost it or actually update it with new words, but the same concept. It's better to have like a small group of articles that answer all those core questions that match your business that you update consistently versus a new article on a new thing every single time.
So AI to rewrite it.
Correct. That's all you need to do. So all of this is AI can do for you, so your actual time investment is probably an hour a month. Jeremy.
So a little pro tip thing I like to do is all of this changes over time.
Yeah.
So just go ask the AI, like, hey, look at me as a realtor compared to other realtors. What could I do to make you recommend me more often? You're never going to be the thing I'm always recommending.
Yeah.
Because it'll literally tell you that it's unbiased, but you can ask it, what can I do to make you recommend me more often? And it'll give you a legit answer of, you know,
Yeah.
you need more reviews or you need more of this.
Tell it to be critical. Hey, this is key. If you're asking it to do something for you because it wants to make you feel good, tell it, I need critical thinking. I don't need you to make me feel good. Here are my 3 closest competitors, right? Here's who's coming up right now when I search best realtor. Go tell me how I need to get better. But be careful again, because AI can take you down a rabbit hole with those questions. Now, do you want me to do this for you? Okay. You all feeling okay on this? Again, I know that's like a heavy tactical, but that is what it takes, the 3 top things to be aware of. Who's on Reddit? Anyone?
I saw that. I didn't know that we should put ourselves. I use it often, but I never thought to use it.
Reddit is actually, like, if you mention yourself, that doesn't carry as much weight with AI. What you really want is people in like real estate communities on Reddit dropping your name. So go join the real estate groups on Reddit in your area. And, you know, someone was like, Andrew, I can create a fake profile that's not me and recommend myself. Okay, well, you do whatever you want to do. Like, I don't know if AI is going to suss through that at all, but like, do whatever you want to do. But actual like unsolicited mentions, AI puts a ton of stock in that, which is why reviews matter heavily too. So some things to keep in mind. All right, y'all ready for some agentic stuff? Because this is where we're going to spend the bulk, I think probably the bulk of our next 30 minutes. Y'all ready for a little switcheroo? Okay. These, I told you I'd explain agentic. We've alluded to it. We've tiptoed around it, talking about some different things. Agentic AI, this is AI that can do the thing right now on your computer. The whole thing, not just a part of the thing. So where ChatGPT can come up with a great recipe or meal plan for you, what do you still have to do? Shop for it and cook it, right? What we have with agentic AI right now is the agency. Agentic just means AI has the agency to actually do whatever it can on your computer in whole. So this is where I think we can unlock a lot of time savings. And these are the 3 tools right now that I would recommend exploring. Not to replace you, but to help you with a lot of this data mining, to help you do some of the work that you'd be spending time doing on the computer. So the first one we'll get into is the ChatGPT agent mode. Because you all have ChatGPT and most of you are paying for it. How many of you have tried ChatGPT agent mode before? Can anyone tell me where to go to find it? Hit your plus sign. Y'all do this with me so you can get some muscle memory here. And you can get this working on a task for you while you do this. Now, you Mac users in the room, let me go back here. This Atlas browser, get that on your Mac device. It's only on Mac right now, which I'm annoyed at. But this is basically agent mode, but in browser form. So it's going to be even a little more effective for you.
To replace Safari.
Yeah. Yep. I think you should be using an agentic browser for any, like, just be there, because when you need to use it for something, it's already, you're in that browser. You don't have to go, like, open a new tool. So, have you used Atlas, by the way, or did you just get it based on what we said earlier? Okay. So some of what we're doing in agent mode, you can do in Atlas.
Go back to the previous screen, please.
Taking a picture?
Yeah.
All right. 10 more seconds for pictures. He's counted down. There we go. I think we got it. All right. So agent mode, hit the plus sign in ChatGPT, hit more, and then you should see agent mode. You all see that? Click it. This should work in ChatGPT no matter what device you're on. You can even enable this from your phone. You just can't log into things from your phone. You have to be in a browser to log into things. All right, so this is fundamentally now going to change how the AI works. Now, I would use either agent mode. Hear me on this, because this is important for sure. What I'm about to do with agent mode is not mutually exclusive to agent mode. I'm going to have it go like pull some data for a CMA just to show you a real life task. You can use agent mode to order your groceries. You can use agent mode to do anything you would do on the computer. But you can also use the Atlas browser or Perplexity Comet to do the same things. Whatever ecosystem feels more natural to you. Does that make sense? Hopefully. You'll see what we're talking about as we go through. So with agent mode, it's going to initiate a computer and work. So we're actually going to build a CMA here for a property. Does someone have an active listing in the room that we can use for this? Yes, ma'am. 287 Brittle Brush Drive in Portsmouth, Virginia. That's our address. All right. So here's what I want you to do, ChatGPT. Take that address and first go research it. Look it up on Zillow, wherever it's listed. Build your profile for that property. Take into account anything unique. You might want to check greatschools.org to see what schools district it's in. Is that important to comps that it's in the same school district? Would that be important to you all as agents? Okay, so yeah, ChatGPT, use greatschools.org to look that up. And then I just want you to use Zillow to go find 5 comparable properties. It's very important the square foot matches within 100 square feet. Yeah, it needs to be within, like, probably within a half a mile of that address. Like, we don't want to go too far out from that address for the comps. And these need to have sold in the last, let's say, 6 months. Let's find 5 that have sold in the last 6 months within a half a mile that match the attributes, square footage, similar level of updates, etc. Yeah, and match the school district. All right. So, and the neighborhood amenities, which are what? Say that again? Clubhouse, pool, fitness center. Awesome. So make sure that any comps have a similar community amenity to the subject property. Okay. When you're done analyzing, go ahead and summarize all that in the chat for me so we can use it to build our CMA. Because where are you all normally going for this stuff?
Can you say flyer as well? Like, instead of just like...
So yeah, so I'm going to address that in a moment. So yep, but let's get this working so it can do its thing. We'll try to save some time here, and I'll talk about it while it's working. So in agent mode, it's going to actually initialize a computer. It's going to initialize a browser and start clicking around and using a computer more like a human being would. The only difference between this and using a browser is this is a cloud-based browser in ChatGPT. It's going to start working in using Atlas or Perplexity. It's just going to do it right within my browser. Does that make sense? This is only on the paid version. Yep. Any of these you're really going to have to pay for because, again, it takes a lot of energy. No. You don't even have access to agent mode without paying. So it's going to go do its thing. So let's talk about this. I had to go use Zillow and Realtor.com. The key with Agentic AI is if I had an MLS account, I would have actually pasted my MLS Rain URL right into that chat, and it would be going to Rain right now instead of Zillow. But you tell it, hey, I want you to go to Rain. I want you to go to Portsmouth tax website. I want you to go to RPR for my equity, right? Like, you give it the URLs you want the Agentic AI to go to. If you're in a browser like I am, you just have those pages open and tell the browser to go to those pages to do the work. Does that make sense?
What do you mean tell the browser to go to those pages to do the work?
I'm going to show you.
Okay. Oh, good.
Yep, so put a pin in that one. So I think that answers one of the questions, which was like password protection. This could go outside of the tools that I give it to get an answer for me. And here's the key, and I mentioned this earlier. We do not want AI coming up with the price. Matter of fact, I probably should have asked you what range you want this to be in so that the comps can kind of justify it. Because with my prompt right now, it's going to come up with a price and try to find comps that kind of match that. But I would give it that to it ahead of time. But essentially, this is it. And when it comes time, like once it gets to the MLS and it needs you to log in, it's going to stop and have me take control. Like it'll give me a take over button. You click that, log in right within this browser, and then hit finish controlling. It's going to keep working. All right, does that make sense? Any questions or thoughts? Sure, I would refine it more though. With your prompts, here's the structure. When you're using Agentic AI, tell it what to act as. Tell it exactly what you need. You need to treat it like a person because it's going to go do all the work for you. This could take an hour, right? Your browser might work like, remember the story I started with? It ordered all my groceries from Target. It ordered my Home Depot order, got everything ready to check out for me. But I had to take the time to build that list and put it up in there and tell it exactly what I wanted. So it's doing the task. So what to act as, what exactly you want, give it the resources you want it to go to. This is more important if it's in agent mode. If you're in the browser, you can just have the tabs open. And then tell it what you want as an output. And you asked me, can you just tell me to put it in a flyer for me?
Yes, and another thing, I think the address is incorrect. It should be 287. Or is it?
Yeah, this won't be the end of the world for the demo, because it's just gonna, I'm curious if it did it. It is 287. Is that correct? Yes. Yeah, so I think it's actually looking up other comps right now. It's doing its thing.
So when it's in agent mode, you tell it to do this, and then you have to log into all of your other, like I have to go to Rain, log in, have it open in order for it to know, and then tell it, go to my Rain browser, and it just knows to go.
In your prompt, paste the URLs you want it to go to. When it gets there, it's going to notify you if you're not at your computer.
I tried this the other day.
Yeah, it'll be like, hey, I need you to log in. Okay. So you'll hit a button right here that says take control. And then right within that browser, you try to log in. Now, here's what you might see. It should work with your MLS, should work with most tax websites, should work with RPR. Those are things that I've tried and seen. The agentic AI, because it's coming from a database server, this browser's in a database, at a data center server somewhere. Some sites will block it from doing anything. It won't let it log in. So if you try to go to a site, for example, I could not use agent mode at Target because Target blocks that IP address. So I just used the Perplexity comment browser and it just did it in the browser. Does that make sense? But it said, I tried to click log in and just kept, nope, error, won't work. Does that make sense? So if agent mode doesn't work, use the browser instead. Should be just fine. To your point, you only log in when it gets there and needs you to. And it doesn't keep you logged in. Remember that setting we turned off that said remote browser data? If that's on, this browser may remember your passwords for MLS and stuff like that, but I recommend turning that setting off, and then it does make you log in every time. So you can extrapolate this to anything you do on the computer. I'm going to let it do its thing. We can leave. And the key here is it's cloud-based, so you can leave. You can shut your computer down. It's still going to work and do whatever it needs to do. So for me, again, I need to build something. I need to do some research on the MLS, get the AI working for you, and then go take your kids to school or go to their sports game or whatever. Stop staying up to 10 p.m., 11 p.m., burning yourself out on this type of stuff, right? Does that make sense? There's more things, like our health, our family, those things are more important. We still want to do a lot of business to support that. I'm not saying don't work hard, just work smarter. And I'm not going to be mad if this doesn't give me the right price. So that's where I see people get frustrated. Well, it didn't give me exactly, like I would have been better. Yeah, you would be. You're the licensed professional with local nuance. Let it find the data that can justify your price. Does that make sense?
Why is it taking so long?
It takes long. It's doing the work on the computer.
We've asked questions, it's like,
Correct, because so this is your fundamental difference in agentic AI. It is not using the computer like what we've been doing up to right now. That's simply using text online to go scrape the web, find answers, predict things, give you some text back. Agentic AI is actually looking at every screenshot, figuring out where to click, and it's using a computer like a human. So if you were to go find 5 comps in the MLS and then go pull data from greatschools.org and the tax website, that would probably take most of you 30 minutes. So this will probably be done in about 20 for what I asked it to do, 15 or 20. But it's work you no longer have to spend the time doing.
When you say agentic, it has to be the paid version. Can you just click on the search box and it's agentic?
Agent mode. Just take a picture of this blue button right here at the bottom. Agent mode. You got to enable that agent mode to get it to do what it's doing, which fundamentally changes how it's working. Is that clear? Does that make sense? All right. So for the sake of time, I'm going to keep moving. We're going to let this keep working. The next agentic tool I'm going to jump to is going to be Claude. This is the app on my computer. Remember I said download the app? Now back on my slides, you can go visit claude.com/download, and that'll allow you to download the app, the Claude app, to your device, and you just log into your same account. So within the Claude app, here's what it looks like. Just like Claude on the browser, right? But here's the difference. Right up here in the middle, you see this co-work button. Co-work is Claude's agentic. This is the one that works on your computer locally. So earlier when I started the class, because this takes probably 10 minutes to do, because it's doing some heavy lifting for you, I gave it a file. So this can access files on your computer. So if I start a new task, I can choose within CoWork what file I want to give it access to. Either add a connector, add a plugin, or hit my drop down, choose a different folder, and tell it to work within any of my files on my computer, okay? So give it what you want. But what I asked it was like, hey, I gave it a file where I had 4 offers, like 4 offers on a property. Think you got these emailed contracts back, you saved them to your device in a file. How many of you do that right now? Download from the email, they're in a device. I gave it that file on my computer by selecting like I just showed you, and I just said summarize these 4 offers and build a spreadsheet for these for my client. Because it's working on the computer locally, writing code, kind of working in the background, it gave me this spreadsheet, it ran everything, updated the commands, and it just built that spreadsheet for me right here in the class. It took about 10 minutes to do that. And again, much better than ChatGPT's, right? Because it's writing the actual code for the spreadsheet. So let me see if I can get that to open up here for us. If not, I'll just show you. This is Claude. Oh yeah, it did. So thank you. Thank you for telling me it opened.
So you're actually downloading the 4 contracts or folders?
Oh, that's one I already had open from the other day. Yeah, you download them. They just need to be on your local device.
So basically in a file.
Correct. Sorry, I'm trying to get this to open. Let me try this again. There we go. All right, it's there. Does that look better than a spreadsheet you would build? I mean, everything's broken out. We got offer dates, prices, financing, contingencies, home inspection, all that. It pulled that right from the contracts.
Put the contract and drop it in there.
You didn't even have to drop it in. So if the contract lives on your computer, you just give it access to the file for that, where those contracts are living, wherever you downloaded them to, and it's going to pull right from them.
Excuse me, all those contracts have to be in one folder?
Not necessarily, but it's gonna be able to work faster and you're gonna ensure it doesn't make errors if you actually save them to one folder and give it that one folder.
How do you actually get it to go to the folder though?
It's working on your local computer. Oh yeah, yeah. So right under CoWork and new tasks, right here in this drop down. Hit the drop down, choose a different folder. Yeah. And then I have the one here where it's like offers test, right? So I just selected that and then prompted it. Here's what's in there. Here's what I want you to do. You could give it your whole documents folder and just say, I need you to clean this up and organize stuff for me, right? This is where you could have it pull any level of data in and build stuff for you. Word, PowerPoint, Excel, anything. But the key with Claude CoWork is it's working locally, not in a browser like ChatGPT or Perplexity. Does that make sense? Those can't access your local files. Not yet, anyway. This is worth exploring. This is why I like Claude best. Programmers are using this constantly because they're working off their code data, like their code databases and everything else. So Claude has really become robust with this. But I just like that I never have to create a spreadsheet again. Sorry, accountants. I mean, this one is actually pretty cool. It's built some that the funny thing is I don't know that you can replicate like the same spreadsheet every time, because I've built this 2 or 3 times and the spreadsheet looks a little different every time, but it's all the same information. This is where I wouldn't worry about my brand being on point with a spreadsheet, because AI is helping me be super productive here. Couple questions, yes.
My tools to cloud, like Gmail and all that stuff. Is that what you
That's the one I was showing earlier, right? So I like using Claude to be connected into my calendar and email. And Alex or Jeremy, could I grab another bottle of water? I'm going through them fast today. Feeling good on that?
And that's only in the paid version too, right?
To get CoWork, yes, you have to pay. You have to pay for Claude, 100%. The third tool is going to be, let me get out of this. Let's go back to chat real quick. All right, it's done. Here we go. So what did that take? 10 or 15 minutes maybe? How long did that take, y'all? To do that CMA, to like pull what I asked it to pull? Like 10 minutes probably. All right, so here's our address. It is a 2-story townhome built in 2021. Is that correct? 2021 two-story townhome? 3 bedrooms, 1,280 square feet? All right, so just going through everything here. Talks about community amenities, school district rating. It's Victory Elementary School, is that correct?
Yeah, can you zoom down a little bit more?
Like this?
Yes.
There you go. All right, so it did use greatschools.org to go find that. Comparable properties. Here you go. 415 Tarryton Lane, sold December 2025. 285 Golden Star Lane. 279 Brittle Brush Drive, that's right down the street. 229 Brittle Brush. 217 Tiger Lily. These are all sold. Latest one was July 2025. So you probably would be rolling, I'm assuming you're priced around that same 250 to 70 price point?
Yeah, I'm at 257.
Okay, yeah, so it's right. So let's see what it says. Other notes. Which one? Oh, yeah. And it said it right here. Other notes. Not enough sales of 1,280 square foot townhomes occurred between September and March to supply 5 comps. So based on what it was filtering on Zillow, it couldn't find enough. Therefore, earlier sales, Feb to July, were used to build a broader market. So it did go back to 2025 for some of these. Yeah. So you can, again, like you all know this, right? You can't find a lot of comps. You might have to go out a little farther, right? Same old thing. It's going to apply logic to it. Community square footage, read through this for sure. We won't read through every section today. Pricing trend, it seems to be in this range, 245 to 254. Sale might expect values around 265 to 285, depending on updates and market condition, right? Conclusion, here we go, nearly identical. In the mid 245 to 257, 256, and you're right at that point. So that's pretty close. We didn't give it a range for that one, right? All right, here you go. So that it pulled that. Now, if you're on the MLS, it's going to pull from the MLS. But how many of you actually pull comps from Zillow and other places? I know some people that do. Some people go elsewhere to find them if you don't. RPR, yeah. So again, quality of prompt plus the right resources for it to go to, output will be better. You might have to run this 1 or 2 or 3 times to really see, okay, it did this, I didn't like that. How do I prompt it to not do that next time? Does that make sense? So with this, lean into it because this is what you're learning. This is going to help you adopt AI as we move forward because agentic is really where it's at. So question earlier, how do I tell the browser what to do? Okay. How many of you have used Notebook LM? Please write that tool down. You really should be using it. The young lady over here talked about using it with her transcripts. I'm going to hit on that today as best as I can from a time perspective. Notebook LM. Thanks for the water. I didn't even see who brought it up. Notebook LM. It is a website and an app by Google. You all should get it for free. It is a free tool, which is great. So this is Notebook LM. LM. It's right up here on the screen. You can go find the app right now. Look this up. Yep. It's not to take notes. This is to create a lot of cool stuff. I shall explain. So the reason I bring it up now is this is where I recommend, do you all have a slideshow thing built into your MLS that builds you a CMA? So where do you normally put a slideshow together, or like do you put a presentation together to show a CMA or present things about a pro? Who still does stuff like that? Okay, but you like, how long does it take? You could take the data then and do what I'm about to do. I don't have a Rain login, so I can't tell the agentic browser to take the data from ChatGPT and go into Rain and build the presentation. But I like using Notebook LM for the presentation anyway, because I think it puts together a better presentation from what I've seen, and it's designed well and it's pretty cool. So Notebook LM is essentially an AI that you can only use once you give it something and create a notebook, and it's topical. So if I'm building up a CMA for this address, 287, I'm going to give it the CMA data, and that's all I'm going to use that notebook for. But you can see I have a lot in here for different CMAs, bulletins, etc. What I love about Notebook is you can give it a lot of different sources, and it's considered a grounded AI. It's only pulling from what you give it. So it's more accurate. It's not making stuff up from the internet necessarily, right? It's going to pull from the source material you give it. You can give it a website as a resource. You can give it a YouTube video as a source. You can upload files into it, bring in your drive, or just straight copy text, right? Once you do any of those things, you're going to have a full working notebook where we can create a lot of cool output. So I'm just going to show you some of the things we can create. First one.
Do you have to pay for this?
This is free. Yeah, log in with Gmail. You have to log in with Gmail. And it should be free to start. I think you can run into usage limits, but what I know is most people logging in with their broker Gmail, they have access to this unlimited it's part of Google Workspace. So it's, again, Google product. So you remember how Claude did a good job building the spreadsheet, but this is an example where you might want to have other pieces of collateral to support the spreadsheet. So these are those same 4 contracts that Claude used to build that spreadsheet from my computer. I just uploaded those as the source. Does this make sense? Then in the middle, I can ask it questions about those things. So in this case, I was just like, what are the pertinence of these offers? So here you go. Same thing that Claude pulled out. It puts it right in there. Why I like this is you can hover over these little gray numbers, and it's going to tell you the text from the source right here that you can verify very quickly. So if you're dealing with legal docs or contracts or whatever, that's helpful. But the main reason I like Notebook is for everything over here on the right-hand side, all this stuff. We can create an audio overview of anything. We can create a slide deck, a video overview, a mind map. Any of you help your kids with homework? Just go search for a YouTube video that explains 9th grade, geometry. Give that as a source, and then create a flashcards and quiz for them and a video overview, and plug them into this to learn that stuff. Does this make sense? But your customers need stuff explained the same way too. They don't need flashcards and quizzes, but they might need a video explainer of something you're trying to explain to them. What she mentioned earlier is she takes the transcript from her meeting, she adds that as just a pasted text source, and then it sounds like you generate a little video overview of here's what we went over in our meeting, and here's our next steps, and you text that out to them? Yep. Does that make sense? So the outputs are what make Notebook special. So let's look at what those look like. This will also push, if you're in Google and you don't like Excel, this will push numbers right into a data table that goes into a Google Sheet. So if we hit data table, I've already done one, we click it, we hit the 3 dots and say export to sheets. It's not going to be pretty, but it's going to pull all the data right into a Google Sheet for us. Does this make sense? Again, Google ecosystem. Same information, just laid out very simply. It's not going to be as cool as what Claude built for us. All right, let's take a look at the video. So say you want a video overview of a topic. It's going to look something like this. Let's make this bigger. And again, did nothing other than say present these 4 offers to the home buyer or the home seller as if you're the real estate agent. That's all I did, and it's going to make a video like this, pull out the details.
First and foremost, congratulations. This is exactly the position we wanted to be in. We have 4 really strong offers for 123 Banana Street, and my job now is to walk you through every single detail so you feel completely confident in whatever decision you make. So let's dive right in. Here's how we're going to break it all down. Nice and simple. We'll look at the offer prices, then we'll dig into the financial strength.
Now I'm not going to play all 5 minutes for the sake of time.
Where does it get the script?
It makes it up from your source.
Is that your voice?
No.
Can you change the voice? You can use 11.
That always comes up.
You can use 11 labs though and change it.
That's how you can bootstrap it. So you want me to show that for everybody? Have you done that before? Or have you seen me do it, or have you seen someone do it? Okay, it's pretty cool. I'm going to tell you what she's talking about. Don't worry, I got you. Let me just skim through this so you can see what it kind of looks like. So the colors can change. It can look a little different. For the most part, it's going to give you just a really nice explainer video of whatever the source is. So this is important for helping people comprehend things, helping you comprehend things, helping your kids. It breaks everything down, talks through the offers, talks through the contingencies. What does that even mean? Here's our proposed settlement dates, right? Y'all see that. Here's our terms. Here's what we have. It puts all this together in about 10 minutes. For anything. So the reason we recommend this, like flipping something into this type of video, is when you really need to learn something yourself or you need to help someone comprehend something. Because humans only retain about 10% of what we read.
Well, you can even send it to yourself, so you don't have to repeat it.
100%. This is what I do when I need to educate myself on something new that I'm trying to teach. I get all the data sources, throw it in a notebook, create podcasts and videos, and just, that helps me learn.
This would have been really helpful a few years ago. When I was driving down the highway in Washington State, and I had 25 offers on one of my listings. And I was trying to scratch it all down on a legal pad.
Oh, yeah.
And make sense of it all. And then call the client and go, okay, here's what we got.
Yeah. So like you have two tools we've talked about that can help you with contract review. Claude Co-work directly on your device or Notebook. And I would say do both, right? You can flip this into anything. The presentation it can come up with is pretty cool. So once you click a slideshow, and again, anytime you all see these little pencils, anytime you click those, that's going to allow you to prompt for an actual, like what you want in the slide deck. So you could say, I want a detailed deck or presenter slides. I want it to be short or default. And then you can say, my name is Andrew Hooper. I'm the real estate agent. I'm presenting this to Bob Jones. He's the client. And here's how I want you to lay this out. Like you just give it a prompt with your information and it's going to build the deck like that. But the types of decks it can build in about 5 minutes are crazy. Like let's see here. I think this is one where we just didn't have, I asked it to do it with no pictures, but it throws this together. This is a breakdown of all 4 offers, and it just puts this together again. I don't even think I prompted this one other than don't use pictures.
Can you ask it to edit it? Like when
Yeah. So this is new. So right here, this revise button was just added, and you can prompt this slide. All right, this looks a little bland. I want this more centered. I want this to change, and you can prompt each slide individually to change it up. Yeah. Yep. Let me just say, please center the text. Let's see how it works.
Does that have a top feature or just takes it?
No, that's my one knock on it, is they don't have the mic in here yet. So once you get your changes, see how it says pending changes 1? Once you go through and do those, you're going to have 8 different changes you want, then generate revised deck, and it's going to spend a few minutes and revise it for you.
Hey, Andrew,
Sorry, Frankie, I saw you and I didn't come back to you. My fault.
Yeah, my question is, so you don't have to go back and keep changing the name. Can you set up some kind of like
Memory?
manual nameplate where it'll automatically change the person's name, change the address to the property, so you don't have to go back every time?
In the slide deck?
In the slide
Oh,
deck.
oh yeah, it'll, as long as you include that in your source material and in your prompt, right? For the slide deck. So that's where in the prompt I would say, my name's Andrew Hooper. I'm the presenting real estate agent. We're presenting this to John and Susie Doe. It's going to put those into that slide deck. It's already going to have the address and everything from the contract. So it's already going to know that. So it's pulling from sources. You don't have to over prompt it. Just give it your pertinence, like your name and who it's being presented to and the purpose of the deck.
Right, but what I'm saying is like when it say each seller's name and address, like just using it without having to go in and like
There's no memory. There's no memory in Notebook where it's like, at least not yet, where it's persistently remembering things about you, but you want it to be custom, right? So I wouldn't want it to not use the client's name. I would want it to say, Mr. and Mrs. Jones, here's your 4 offers we're presenting today, right?
I'm saying using that, but I'm saying, will I have to maybe go in on everyone, like if I'm selling your house, I'm selling my house, would it automatically change the name and address?
100%. You don't have to prompt anything. It's pulling. Remember how we're creating a new notebook topically? So every address is going to have its own notebook for offers. Okay. Every CMA is going to have its own notebook for the CMA. And it's only using what's in that source to create the slides. So you don't have to even think about that. It's only, I think that answers it, but it's only going to pull from that. Yes, ma'am.
So if you have this, then why wouldn't you really ChatGPT or Gemini at that?
There's really a whole lot of reasons, because this can't go out and generate stuff. This can't research the web for you. This can't go do agentic stuff. This tool is built to take an input and make an accurate output of either a video, a podcast, a guide. This is about helping, actually Notebook, its core mission is helping people learn things better.
So you have to
accurately.
sign in for this, create a sign in.
Yep, you need an account. This is free, but each notebook is topical. So that's the slide deck, that's the video. Let's show you Comet, because Comet is the agentic tool we're in right now. If you all haven't noticed, this browser that I'm living in, this is Perplexity Comet. Does it look any different to you than Chrome? It's built on Chromium. So doesn't feel weird, right? I've been clicking around in here all day, just like you would on your computer. So I am in Comet, where you would go to download that. Just go to Google, search Perplexity Comet browser, C-O-M-E-T, and download it to your computer. It's this little blue icon right down here in my menu at the bottom. That's the icon for it. In the browser, your question was, how do you get it to do stuff for you? Right here, right where it says Assistant. You can talk to it, open the Assistant window, and now I can ask it to go do something. So this is what I literally pasted my grocery list that I had ChatGPT write for me, pasted it right in here and said, Target, here you go, then go to Home Depot, here you go. And I just had both of those pulled up and logged in. Yep, because it's going to be able to do things right within this browser. So here's what I'm going to have it do. We just did your CMA in ChatGPT. My next step is going to be to take that CMA data, because I agree with it, I like it. Let's go build a slide deck in Notebook. But I don't want to have to deal with any of that. I want to go get coffee and call my mom. So what I'm going to do is this. Hey there, can you go ahead and take this CMA from ChatGPT for 287 Brittle Brush Drive in Portsmouth and take that over to Notebook LM, please. Create a new notebook, and then I want you to create a slide deck for this and a video overview that I can use in Notebook, please. I'm just going to keep it simple, and here's what happens. It just, in the browser, is going to turn blue, and it's just going to do the work. Now I'm off to call my mom. So it's going to take care of taking that over, creating the thing, doing the steps.
So Comet, like, bridges the gap between whatever you did in ChatGPT and Notebook LM.
Yeah, and technically,
talk to it, and that's how it connects to the browser.
or you can spend your time typing out your prompt. You're just prompting the browser to go do what you need it to do in the browser within any website you have opened. Yep. So see, it's doing all this for me now, what we were just doing.
So then do we pay for?
This is Perplexity. Yep. So I pay the $20 a month for Perplexity. Again, logged into the browser with the same account. You can use this browser without any subscription.
Wait, is Comet different than Perplexity?
It's their product. Just like Atlas is ChatGPT's browser. So you might want to try Atlas because you're on a Mac. Atlas is only available on a Mac. So I have to use Perplexity Comet on my Windows computer. Does that make sense?
So Atlas may do the same thing.
Atlas is very similar. It's just going to look more like agent mode, but in your browser.
And you pay for Atlas.
Part of paying for ChatGPT. Atlas is ChatGPT's browser. Make sense? So your same account with ChatGPT, you're logging into Atlas, it's your browser, part of your subscription. Perplexity app for AI, Comet is their browser, you log into the browser paying for Perplexity, you have unlimited access to this. I hope that makes sense. I know we're dealing with a lot of different tools, but if you're on Mac, you might want to try Comet, but you might want to try Atlas too, since you already have ChatGPT. And they're two different browsers.
Will you send us a video of all this?
You're getting the whole breakdown, don't worry.
So I go to
Step by step, prompt by prompt.
Atlas.com now, basically.
Yeah, ChatGPT Atlas browser. For you, since you have a Mac, I would download both browsers and see which one you like better. For anyone on Windows like me, Perplexity Comet is the best agentic browser we have right now. Feeling okay? I hope that didn't zap our brains too much. But you see it doing its job, right? It's doing the work.
I know you mentioned earlier you have to pay for the $20 a month. But in order for you to do the CMA from ChatGPT to the notebook, do you have to pay the membership, or that doesn't come with the basic chat?
For Perplexity, yeah. You can use some agentic functions in the free Perplexity browser, but you probably will time out pretty quickly as far as what you're able to do on the free version.
Does it give you certain bytes or something?
It would just tell you like, hey, you need to upgrade if you want to do this.
Oh, because you've utilized it too many times.
Just like the free version of ChatGPT. Come back at 11 tomorrow. You talk too much. Yeah. Yeah, Notebook LM, separate tool, right? Think about your agentic browsers, just to keep it super simple. It is simply AI that lives in the browser, like think of it like a human living right in your browser, and it can do pretty much anything you would spend time in your browser doing. Filling out a form for your kids at school, that's in the school website. Hey, go fill out this form for me. Get it done. Just let me review before you submit it. Like anything you would be spending time doing, like I talked about, grocery order, anything like that. Jeremy, anything you'd add? We're gonna do our last break here. I know this is, wanted to take today slow on purpose, but how are you all feeling so far? Good? Cool. I think at this point, let me make sure, Jeremy, I don't have one last thing to add here. Any other questions on this as this is working?
I have one quick question and then I'll be done with questions.
Yeah.
So we're doing the CMA and I know we talked about the flyer situation. Is there a way to do an example of like best marketing tactics or something? Because, you know, marketing wise, I always have issues with that.
For like graphics?
Well, not graphics, just, you know, ways to market it better.
Sure. That would just be a continuing conversation with ChatGPT. So right in the same chat for ChatGPT, let me open a new one since this is working.
I never thought to open multiple.
Oh yeah, multiple chats open for sure. So here's my CMA analysis, right? So in this one, once it loads, here we go. This is what it said for your CMA. The key here is I'm going to have a conversation about how to market this better. I'm just going to disable agent mode because we don't need that again. And then I can continue to have a property or like a conversation, sorry. So now I want to discuss like marketing this more effectively, like based on other properties in this area that are online, like where and how should I be marketing this thing to get it to move fast? Just an example, you might want to talk for 10 minutes about the things you want to accomplish. And we can continue that conversation right there. Does that make sense? But at any point, if I'm going to have to go, it's already, I'm in that same chat where we built the CMA.
Okay, so you just go on the plus. You don't have to.
Yeah, just disable the agent mode and have a conversation.
The IC thing.
Yeah. So you're just working, just think, just continuous workflow. Persistent memory. You're just continuing the conversation.
Right.
Yeah.
I like that.
And then as you can see, the agentic browser is over here working in this group. You all see that? So it's doing its thing and it creates a group in the tabs it's actually working in. And you can ungroup them later if you want to, but that's my group. I can minimize it and continue to work in my browser on other things while that agentic function is happening in those two tabs. This probably could be one of the maybe top thing to take away agentically is get one of these browsers and start having it do things in your browser for you. Might be the easiest like first step. But I think many of your brains can already start thinking about where you spend time sitting on a computer. Heck, try this in Canva. The last time I tried it, it really sucked at designing. But you could have Canva pulled up in here and be like, here's my pictures and things, like I need you to build this flyer for me based on this template, and keep trying that because at some point in the next year, it probably will be able to design things in Canva pretty good. Does that make sense? But the quote from the Microsoft CEO, and I always butcher his name, so I'm not going to try it, but he said, agentic AI is how we all will probably interact with all AI by the end of 2026. Because I can tell this browser to go in ChatGPT and do anything it needs to do. The browser is going to handle all of that. Follow me? It's weird to think about, but it's where we're at today. So, break time. We're going to do a quick 5-minute break, and then when you all come back, do a quick giveaway, and I'm going to leave you with some content tools. All right, guys, we're going to keep moving to get this wound down quickly, but I want to leave you with some content creation tools. Here's the deal, y'all. I know this is a lot of information, so can you all give yourself a round of applause for like sitting through this with troopers? I know I'm definitely not like, I don't drone on, but I know this is heavy information, so thank you. That means a lot. And thanks to Shaheen for helping, again, just bring a ton of value. So just in case you're wondering what's happening here, the reason this is still blue is you see how this video generation is still spinning. It's going to remain in that agentic mode until the task is complete. So until it's done generating, then it's going to come back over here and finish its checklist and say it's done. So that's how that kind of winds down. I do want to take a look though at the slide deck it created. So let's jump into that. Refresh this here. 287 brittle brush. Let's see how it did on the slide deck. So this is what it just threw together for her CMA. And it's going through it. Core specs. Here's the HOA broken out. The Newport cluster. Probably needs to be one word, Newport. Huh? This was the slide. Remember how I asked the browser to create the slide deck? This is your slide deck. So I just hit play, and you can present right from there. You don't even have to go out of the tool to present this. Signal noise, filtering the data. Here's what we know, recent sales. Here's our identifying twins. Here's our baseline. Here's our value increase. What do y'all think about this? I just think this puts a beautiful presentation together. And it helps, again, it's built to help people learn, so it's simple, it's stuff that matters to people. It's pretty cool. All right, we're gonna keep moving. Content tools. So back to the deck real quick, just so you can take a few pictures. We talked about Notebook. Definitely, you all can see the value there, slide decks, video overviews, all sorts of things. Lean into that. Maybe a place to start for all of you with Notebook is go give it your buyer guide and have it flip your buyer guide into a video. Have it redo your buyer guide into a slide deck presentation. That might be a great, easy lift. Just upload your buyer guide as a source and generate some outputs and see what you get. Gemini. I would be remiss if I didn't hit on Gemini. I haven't done Gemini service today. This is Google's AI. But these are two, I talked about using it for research, but these are actually two things where I think it does a great job with creative. And on the bottom here, uploading videos. In Gemini, that plus sign, right? Let's look at it real quick. From my phone in Gemini, I can hit this plus sign, hit upload files, and I can bring a video right from my camera feed into this. Video doesn't even need to have words, and it'll watch the video and break down everything in the video. So this could be as simple as your walkthrough video of a property, you upload it, and it can write your listing description based on that video. Or anything else. Again, don't need to have words in there. It's watching the video.
Can ChatGPT do that as well?
No. So again, Gemini for the win on graphic, which again, tools, create video, create image. You can do all sorts of things with both of those. And, thank you, Jeremy. Hi, Mom. And uploading videos to make captioning or just getting data from a video a breeze. Like I have agents who, they do a really good job when walking through a home of like zooming in on every appliance, zooming in on like the wood framing and stuff. They just do the whole house, about a 5-minute video walkthrough. They upload the raw data and like pull out all the appliances that are in here that are conveying, like break down the types of floors and all the things, and like the plants, it'll identify the plants in the backyard and put like plant care guides together, all from one video. Does that make sense? Video is worth 1 billion words. So you leverage that. All right, tools to help content a breeze. Actually, I talked about Manus. I'm gonna come back to Manus. So we already did our break. Marketing content. You've all done the images. Y'all with me on that? Anyone make their own baby? I know.
Did your mom verify this?
She said you had less of a mustache and you didn't wear glasses. And she said your head was a lot bigger than that. But I thought it was cute. But this type of stuff wastes a lot of energy, honestly. So like for me, y'all, like you can have some fun with image creation, but I think a lot of this stuff is a waste of time. I also did the Sora thing. Anyone tried Sora? ChatGPT's AI video creation. I think it's overhyped, and quite frankly, it ruins trust if you don't have real videos that you're showing up for real. I'm not saying you can't do it for some comedic relief. I did, but I was ranting against this in Sora. Like I made a diss track about Sora, or about showing up with AI video. So this is what I made. Has y'all seen? Who's seen this before? Me rapping. I did post it.
Chaos, the shortcut, the easy way to feel. But you can't fake truth, man. You gotta show up for real. Don't hide behind pixels or pretend to appeal. If you ain't in the frame, the camera won't heal.
That's Sora. Should I quit my day job?
Did it make that up?
I gave it a script. In Sora, you take a little video of yourself, it gets your voice and your likeness, and you can feed it any script and it'll make any little video for you. But here's the trap of that. Time suck. And really all you're getting is comedic value, and if you overuse it, you're gonna piss people off. Frankly. I know some people who just overuse the heck out of it and it got old really quick. So once in a while, for sure, for something that you want to have cool. Like I know a guy, he makes an occasional video of him like jumping over the actual house he's selling into the front yard, like a big giant version of him. That's a good use of Sora just for like a marketing gimmick. But outside of that, be careful. Also cloning with AI, be careful. That might get regulated away, so don't invest a ton of time here. Here's tools. This is the app. If you want to screenshot that real quick, I'm just going to blow through some slides here so you can get some tools you can check out. This is Sora. Again, you have a ChatGPT account. You can log in now and everyone can get access. You used to need an access code. Fun doesn't equal productive. Just be careful. Kind of what I said. So, tools that I think actually help you create valuable content. These are two of my favorite video tools that I use every single day. I'm just going to show you what they can do. We do round 2. I'm going to plug up my phone. We're going to spend more time in these tools if and when we do a round 2, if Jeremy will have me back. So, captions. So real quick, the Captions app, I'm not going to plug up my phone for it, but if you're shooting videos and you're using a teleprompter to do like short form videos, anyone do that? Great teleprompter built in, and it puts a great AI edit on the video, which just means it puts captions, it zooms it in, zooms it out, gives it sound effects, brings in B-roll. It does all of that for the monthly subscription. Yeah, so it's going to save you an hour every video, and it takes about 3 minutes. Okay, so we'll go deeper on that. So captions, and it does other things too, but really I use it for any reel I need to make where I read the teleprompter or just riff, because I'm good at riffing, and then I want to have a more high-level edit with like B-roll, sliding in, sliding out, describing something. That's Captions app. Opus Pro for me is a tool that I think more of us should be using for our valuable content like the authority building content. Because a lot of us have personal stuff we put out. A lot of us have proof of business stuff we put out. Those are our open houses, our just solds, just listeds. Not enough of us are putting out the stuff that builds authority and credibility. And that is where you're actually on camera talking about things that are answering your clients' questions or like addressing problems you see in the industry, or getting on and saying like, hey y'all, you're using AI to write your listing descriptions and half of them aren't even fair housing compliant because that's your opinion. Does that make sense? We tend to shy away from authority content because we feel it makes us uncomfortable if people disagree with us. But I've gotten okay over time letting people disagree with me online. It's okay, right? Like that can actually help drive engagement. So let me show you Opus real quick. This is the tool. I'm going to give you a high-level overview. Here's what Opus does. Step 1, you need to shoot a long video of you talking. That's it. Shoot a long video. The easiest way to do that is get on Zoom, hit record, have a piece of paper with your client's questions that you're always answering, and go down the list and just answer the questions looking into your computer camera. Just get a video of you sitting there talking, building like things you're knowledgeable about. Does that make sense? If it's easier, jump on with a friend and you guys are both on Zoom and you hit record and you talk back and forth for 30 minutes. Or set up your phone like Jeremy has, come up here to VPAR when the room's not in use and act like you're presenting to a first-time homebuyer class, or set up a tripod like that and actually present to a first-time homebuyer class and just record it. But you need to start with a long video. What Opus does with AI is you either upload the video or give it the link to the Zoom recording or the YouTube channel or wherever the video is, hit this button and it generates reels from that long video, splices it up, puts captions on them, and they're ready to roll. Does that make sense? So one 30-minute video of you talking can turn into 15 to 20 reels, and you choose the 5 you want to use.
How much is it?
7-day free trial, I think, still. It's a token system. So you see up here where I have 3,300 minutes. I bought over 4,000 total minutes of footage time, so that would be like 30 minutes times to get to 4,000, right? A lot for 114 bucks. One time you get the credits in the wallet, right? It renews if you run out, or you can add more.
So the more you buy, the cheaper it is.
Yeah, and there's other plans now from when I started with this 3 years ago. So now the plans look a little different, but I'm still pretty sure it's cheap and based on, it's not that expensive for what it's doing for you.
So you're still working on that $100 and some odd dollars, and you haven't exceeded that yet?
Correct.
It would probably be better to like do a batch recording of your content and just do the 7-day trial period.
Yeah, so here's what I recommend. Sit down and get one long video. And you might already have a YouTube video up there or something where you have where you talked. Or you might have a panel you sat on, or a recording living somewhere. Go sign up and give it to that and see what it chops up for you. Jeremy.
The free trial is limited in the number of minutes you can put into it.
Yeah, it's probably like up to an hour and a half, I think. So here's how it looks. This is a video of me, same setting kind of as today. I was up in, this is at the Nova Association of Realtors, doing a class with ARIA, which is the Asian Real Estate Agent Association. And the guy had a similar setup as Jeremy, right? So he threw these on YouTube. So I'm like, heck, it's free content. This is an hour and a half session, and it gave me 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 42 potential reels. Now I haven't edited any of these yet. I might want to edit them slightly in the tool, but I don't overthink the perfection here. I just play a clip, and I'm like, all right, real estate agents, boost your value. This is agentic AI. This agentic browser kind of environment. Look, same as what I'm doing today. This is where I recommend you all should be living. So look up comment, download it. So this is what you need. And I'm going to just take any clips I like from this, and I'll download them, and I may use them on social. Does that make sense? So I'm not overthinking content, and this tool can do that, and I upload the video from YouTube, give it the link, and hit get clips, and 20 minutes later, these are living here. Opus used to not be an app. It is now an app, which is great, because right from the app, it's camera roll, ready to go. Make sense?
Is it Opus Clip?
Opus Clip, Opus Pro, same thing. If you Google Opus Clip or Opus Pro, what you're looking for is this little logo up here. I know it's kind of small, but this little black, see this up here? Like that little swirl P, kind of looks like a P with white lines. That's what it looks like. So that's a great content tool. I'm going to keep it moving for the sake of time, so we'll explore these more in the editing in future sessions. These are the two apps, how they look, so just picture of this. Captions may have just updated their logo. And if you're on, who's on Android? You need to look for Captions Lite, L-I-T-E, if you want to look at that app. But Opus Clip is the one on the right, and that's the one that I think is the easier lift for content. Just record a conversation, let it repurpose. We talked about what people retain and see. Notebook can definitely help you with some of this stuff. But Lumen 5, has anyone heard of Lumen 5? This is a little more like a professional type video you can put together based on text. AI will do it for you. I'm just going to show you a quick example of what this looks like. This is Lumen 5. It looks a little busy. It's very Canva-like though, but for video. You come in, you hit create a new video. You choose a template. There's all these templates, like Canva templates. There's a bunch in here. So let's just choose this one. You can choose a color scheme. You can choose if you want this to be in like a real format, or if you want this to be in a, like down here, see the 16 by 9, 1 by 1, or 9 by 16? That's your real versus YouTube. We'll keep it YouTube for this. I'm going to say use this template. Then you choose what you want to do. You can make an AI avatar video, which I don't recommend, not in real estate anyway. I think that's pointless. You can do an AI voiceover or text on media. That's normally what I would do. You're going to turn text into media. And then you can give it either a doc, like your buyer guide, or import a URL, like your listing with photos from your broker website, or paste text in for something, or give it a idea, and it'll use AI to write the content for the video. Does anyone in here have a blog post on your website we could use for this? Anyone? I'll show you an example of what it puts together, if not. A blog post? Okay, let me just show you, because it'll take about 3 minutes to create, so I don't want to do that. But essentially, you would paste in a URL of a blog post. It's smart to have a video accompanying a blog post, right? That's going to help boost it in all search formats, right? So I give it the URL, hit import, it watches it, creates a script, and then generates a video based on the blog post. And here's how it looks. I'll show you one from Northern Virginia from the other day. So once you go through that prompting step, in about 5 minutes, you'll have a video like this that can accompany whatever it is. All right. So.
If you put a listing in there, it would.
Ding, 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 right? So this.
Pictures and make them.
Ding, ding, ding. You can give it your own media. You give it your listing description, and boom, you can have a nice little put together listing video.
That's
simple.
faster than Canva.
Like 18,000 times faster. Correct. So the same little workflow, text on media, paste your text, your listing description. Then the next slide says you have your own media. You just upload the pictures, puts it all together. And then once it's there, again, very Canva-like, so you can go down and edit each screen if you want to. So if you need to drag a picture around or move it, it's just like Canva in the sense of how you design this, each video screen. Make sense?
Tell me again, so you would,
Yeah, so
your steps, your rough steps.
I'm going to say it clearly for the transcript because you're going to get this in the guide. So the first step is go to Lumen 5, have an account. This does cost because it's making video. It spends a lot of energy doing this. But again, this is why I'm in the $250 range probably for my subscriptions. You hit create a new video. Then from there, you choose a template in whatever format you want it in. Then you give it a source, website, paste text, or give it a document. Then the next screen is going to come up with a script. Then the next screen is going to say, do you want to give it your own media? So you upload your own media. That would be your listing photos. And confirm the script. And then you hit generate. And in about 3 minutes, you're going to have that preview available. And if you like the preview, where we were, you can just download it and use it. Upload to YouTube, upload to a website, upload to Zip, like wherever you want to use that at. That allows you to upload an MP4 video.
This cost.
This one I think is $29 a month. Yeah.
It's very similar to Canva, because Canva does auto videos, flyers.
Correct, but this one is really built directly to make videos like what we just looked at from text with your own media, and it's going to save you probably an hour worth of work every video over Canva. All right. So I don't want to go too crazy there, but that is available. Now, if you want to, something that's I'm going to show you Manus real quick because I promised I would. Remember how I said I like doing tasks in Manus? This is Manus. Manus was an AI that was, for the longest time, I didn't use it for as much because it was based in Singapore. It didn't have a lot of US ties. But about 3.5, 4 weeks ago, Meta, Facebook, bought Manus. So it's now owned by Facebook. So I'm comfortable teaching it now. But what Manus has done for forever is it has, and I'm going to come back to this, but it runs agentically. It has all the connectors. It has all the things. It has all the tools where you can upload and all the stuff we've talked about. Like very similar, looks very similar. We can even connect it to Instagram and have it like all sorts of things it can do. It is truly a large language model built to be agentic. So without you really having to ask it to, it's going to go like use the computer in the background to complete certain tasks. You don't have to like enable agent mode. The problem is it can get expensive. It's a token system. So if you're like Andrew, I kind of want more of a one-stop shop tool that can design things really well. Like this can create beautiful slide decks, beautiful one page. Like what Jeremy's been sending out, the handouts and flyers and things, Manus is making those. Right, Jeremy? Yep. So Manus is making all of that. All looks pretty professional and nice, right? Just gives it his logo, prompts it, edits it with prompts, and it's ready to go. I would pay for Manus and use it if you really want to integrate connectors. You want more agentic capabilities right in the tool. You want to run a lot of tasks. You want to design a lot of flyers. This can be one of the AIs that is more of a one-stop shop. But you need to get in and test it. This is one task that I like having Manus run. And I set this up in one of my last trainings. So every week, I ask Manus to go give me a full digital visibility report for this listing because it's been on the market for over a year with this agent up there. And he wants to send an email every week to the seller, like articulating what actually has been happening. So it goes and runs this task every week, gives a snapshot of Zillow saves, views, Redfin, days on the market, 318. There's 25 photos. It's now been reduced to 325. It was found on 30 plus syndicated websites. Like it went and it runs this every week for this address. So you can just tell it and set up a task and have it run these for you. Key findings, etc. But then it delivers like your report you can send. So think about leveling up your game. Like this is just a report for a listing. This can be anything. But if I click this report, it puts this together with no prompting. Here's your weekly online marketing and visibility PDF. Here's where it's listed. Here's the activity, dedicated website. And you can edit this after the fact, but it breaks it all down. Like it's a full-blown report that it creates. I use this for creating invoices. I use anything you need. It's pretty excellent, right? So tasking's cool. And then finally, Manus has something called, I'm going to show you in the settings. It has something called Mail Manus. You all can get wild and woolly with this, but you create an email in Manus, like this is my email in Manus, hooperandrew91960@manusbot. And that has this workflow associated with it. This one is Hooper Andrew class handout at manusbot. So what I do, and this whole prompt that I built, right, tells it that every time I send a transcript of a class I did, so I've been recording this whole thing, 3 hours, I'm going to take that raw transcript of 80,000 words that I spoke, and I'm going to email it to that email address. That prompt is telling it to distill out every tool, the prompt, every step that Andrew talked about, build a guide for the attendees with these colors and this logo and all these things, and in about 10 minutes, it emails me back a completed PDF. Wow. Now, Jeremy's gonna make this for you in Manus, so I don't have to do it for this one. But does that make sense? Because for me, I'm doing, I don't know, 150 speaking engagements a year. So I don't have the time to go home on Friday after 6 in the week and build custom Canva flyer handouts for every class I was in. Does that make sense? But the Mail Manus is cool because if I know I'm on the road, you could set one up where it can take all your listing photos, the recording from your meeting at the house with the client. Before you even get home, you'll have a PDF email back that has like, here's some initial thoughts. Does that make sense? I know. I always tend to put myself a little overtime. But for this and many other things, this is why I like Manus. So, without further ado, we're coming up on time. How y'all feeling?
We need over half of the class.
Told you we're gonna cover a lot today. Yes, ma'am.
If you had to choose the one to start with,
Like if you're starting from scratch,
if you're starting from scratch,
let me come back to Manus so you can see how to spell it.
what would be the one that you would recommend?
I don't know that I don't think I can recommend just one. I think you would need 3. You need one that does good creative, and I think that would either be Gemini or Manus. For me, creative, I mean designing the flyers, the handouts, the graphics. So Gemini or Manus for me is best on graphics. I would want one that can learn me the best. For me, that continues to be ChatGPT or Claude. And then I want the agentic capabilities. So like one of those browsers. I want it to be able to do the full thing for me and save me that 30, 40 minutes so I can not have to sit there and order my grocery order, right? Or go to the store for 2 hours.
So which one do you recommend? Which one's your favorite?
All of them. My point is you really need 3 or 4 that you go to for different reasons. And so every tool I talk about today, again, to make it clear, none of them compensate me. I wish they did. I'd be maybe wouldn't have to do this anymore. But like, none of them compensate me. These are all tools I use for all the reasons I was showing you. And each one for $20 or so a month is well worth it. Just writing the listing description from a video with Gemini makes it worth the $20 for one listing, right? So you just got to think about it. So it's a great question. I always get it, but I think we have to start getting multi-AI capable and not just think we can go to one. Now, if you do want to just start with one that can do the most, I think Manus within its ecosystem can do the most. Everything that ChatGPT can do, most of what Gemini can do, design, use agentic, connect to everything, can probably even go out and do like what Claude does in the email and all of that. It might be more of the one-stop shop.
Andrew?
Yes, ma'am.
Just picture introducing them.
Oh yeah, you know why I do that? I don't fix them.
To see if we're looking.
Well, to see if you're looking, but I actually don't use AI to build like most of my presentations. I actually spend the time. And I think as a speaker, I come in here every time beforehand and take slides out, add things in, change it up a little bit. If you slap through my training, you know that they vary a little bit every time. There are some core things for sure, but yeah. So I'm joking, I do need to fix it, but the misspellings show you that I'm real. Now, could I tell AI to do that for me intentionally? Absolutely. Misspell a few things here and there. All right. Y'all feeling okay? Give yourselves a big round of applause. We got to wind it down. I am gonna, if for some reason, let me get to the end here. We're not connected yet. I know I see a lot of familiar faces. Please take a second and scan this. Connect with me on whatever social platform. You're going to get a great breakdown of everything we talked about today. But if you are in the midst of trying something and you need to DM me or ask me a quick question, I have folks that do that all the time from everywhere, and I normally try to get back to you within a couple hours with the answer. So thank you for having me. Jeremy, Shaheen, thank you.